Monday's march in support of hostages still being held by Gazan terrorists, and that he plotted the attack for a year. Solomon remained at the scene after burning at least 8 victims, chanting things such as Free Palestine. He's already being held on $10 million bond and is facing a slew of state charges.
Fox's Evan Brown. Solomon is due in court later this hour. President Trump calls the attack horrific and says it will not be tolerated, also criticizing Biden border policies in a Truth Social post. Immigration officials say the suspect is Egyptian and was in the U.S. illegally after overstaying a visa. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says just in May in Massachusetts, nearly 1,500 people were arrested, its largest operation to date. About half of them convicted or accused of crimes.
But ICE says nearly half of them are convicted criminals, like these 2 men from El Salvador. ICE says one was wanted for murder, kidnapping, and robbery, and the other, a convicted child rapist who, listen to this, was living next to a playground outside of Boston, according to police.
Fox's Alexis McAdams. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons accusing so-called sanctuary cities of making the arrest more dangerous by releasing suspects instead of cooperating. The Massachusetts governor accuses the Trump administration of spreading fear, also taking issue with the detention of an 18-year-old high school student whose visa had expired. Lyons says that student's father was the target. America is listening to Fox News.
Attention men.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Found dead in a place you go to get fit. Nothing on radar and no rain expected until Wednesday. It's 79 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 3:02. 41-year-old Heather Bradford has been arrested in connection to the November 2024 overdose death of 39-year-old Derek Sink. Sink was found dead of an overdose inside the Planet Fitness on Hardigan Street in Indianapolis November 8th last year. Bradford is charged with dealing. 8 dogs inside the car and the driver dead. That's seen from a Walmart parking lot in Bloomington Sunday. Police say they couldn't get to the driver because of the aggressive dogs. When first responders finally decided that they had to open the door no matter what, the dogs jumped out. One bit a firefighter and one bit a bystander. Police believe the driver had some kind of medical emergency before hitting a pole. The dogs were captured and taken to a shelter. The names of the people killed in a triple murder in Hobstadt in Gibson County Thursday have been released. They are 61-year-old Alma Waite, 81-year-old Gloria Tapia Garcia, and 39-year-old Fernando Tapia Ramirez Sr., all shot in the head, police say, by Patrick Waite, who called 911 and then admitted to the killing.
They've got multiple shots, and there are still individuals in the house.
A 4th person was also shot but survived. The shooting happened during an argument between Waite and his wife Alma over who owned the property. The 2028 U.S. swim trials are coming back to Lucas Oil Stadium, and a Hoosier media executive says that's a big win for Indianapolis. Ryan Hedrick has the story.
You remember the pools in Lucas Oil Stadium had never been done before in an NFL stadium. Indianapolis took a chance.
Gary Dick with Inside Indiana Business told WIBC's Tony Katz that in addition to the 9 nights of national TV coverage,
$100 million economic impact, the Olympics, the swim trials will feed the U.S. Olympic swim team for the Olympics in Los Angeles.
Dick says Indianapolis beat out other cities to land this event. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Watching your parents get older is something you never get used to. You know it's going to happen, but it still doesn't seem right, especially when the time comes to consider moving a parent into a nursing home. It's a hard decision for you and them, and when that's the right choice, there's the added stress of what to do with the house. Simple Quarters understands and can help relieve some of that stress. They're a Christian company who is compassionate about what you and your parent are going through. They can help with the logistics of selling the home. They'll buy it as is, no need for repairs, cleaning, staging, or showings. No catch. It's one less thing for you to worry about. Simple Quarters, a Christian company dedicated to helping families through life's transitions. If you're facing the challenge of selling a home due to a loved one moving into an assisted living or nursing home, call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Or go to simplequarters.com.
Now traffic on 93 WIBC.
The southbound collector is jammed up between the north and south splits. 465 eastbound is heavy, Allisonville to 69. 465 westbound slows from 74 to Emerson. 69 southbound, some delays between 96 and 465 from an earlier accident. This report brought to you by Payday. Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is one hard-working candy bar, so grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar, get to it. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly sunny skies expected for today. It is going to be a warm one. High temperatures in the lower 80s. May see a little bit of some light haze. Down to 59 degrees tonight under partly cloudy skies. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
7 seconds left. Time will run out. And the Eastern Conference Championship has been captured by the Indiana Pacers.
Let's go! Yeah, that's Mark Boyle on the Pacer Radio Network. Pacers beating the Knicks 4-2. Eastern Conference Finals. It's done with. Pacers going on to the NBA Finals for the first time since the year 2000.
Year 2000.
The Pacers are going to the finals. OKC. And I keep on making the same mistake when I watch like these big games, is that my daughter wanted to watch it with me, but she wanted to watch it just in her bedroom. You know, she's got a TV in her bedroom.
Sure.
Of course, she falls asleep just like that. Yeah, she's out. But I don't like, and I'm just sitting here. They're making dunks and threes, and the kid from IU's hitting threes, and I got my 11-year-old sleeping next to me. I'm going. And people ask me, well, why don't you just go back downstairs? I'm like, I don't know. They're kind of on a heater here. Like, if I move, I could jinx it.
You don't
know what
screw
I mean?
up the mojo. You
Right.
don't walk away from the table when you're on a heater.
Now, I did go downstairs after the game was over to watch post-game coverage on TV and how this town was lit afterwards.
So you know how I've always said I've wanted to start a funeral channel, right? Like, I feel like there's a market for it. I just need the financial backing. Watching ESPN after the Knicks get eliminated is probably the closest that we're going to get to that.
See, I watch local coverage.
Okay.
I watched local coverage of the city and the reporters talking to fans live in the streets. You're talking about on a national level where everybody was probably crying their eyes out at ESPN. Everybody in the NBA was probably, the executives, the upper echelon, the leadership of the NBA was like, oh.
It was an on-air funeral on ESPN. Like, one of the other co-anchors looked at her coworker and said, "Are you going to be okay?"
Shut up.
True story. True story. And it was like that in the pregame shows. It's like that in the postgame shows. It's either a Knicks pep rally, or if they win, it's 24 hours of, oh my God, Jalen Brunson's the best player that's ever played. And if they lose, it's, well, here's what the Knicks did wrong. It wasn't that the Pacers were good, and the Pacers are good. Now, I'm looking at the odds for Las Vegas and the NBA Finals here.
Big number, isn't it?
There's a scene in the movie Major League at the beginning of the movie. It's right before the opening game where manager Lou Brown walks in and he's addressing his team.
Yeah.
And he says, you know, local sports writers think we'd be doing everybody a big favor if we just walked out and shot ourselves. I'm getting that same vibe from odds makers and national media. They think that this Oklahoma City Thunder team is going to beat the brakes off of the Indiana Pacers.
Well, I mean, they are a pretty good team, right?
Oh, they've got one of the best records in the league, single season, one of the greatest ones of all time.
Didn't Denver come back on him, though?
They did.
Right?
Denver and Joker, they forced, some meaningful games, but you look at what the Thunder have done against the Eastern Conference this year, they've only lost one game. I think they were 29-1 against the Eastern Conference. Pacers play in the East. They were 0-2 against the Thunder this year. So here's what the national media thinks of you. Skip Bayless. He is a national sports figure. Worked at ESPN for a long time. Used to debate Stephen A. Smith. Then he went over to FS1. Here is Skip Bayless doing a video right after the Pacers eliminated the Knicks.
I have a recommendation for the Indiana Pacers and their fans. Party hard. Savor this. Celebrate this like it's the NBA championship, even though it's just the Eastern Conference championship. I just watched you run the Knicks out of the building. And now, unfortunately, starting next Thursday night, you're going to get run out of 4 straight buildings, 2 in Oklahoma City, 2 there. I'm going to give you 1 game against the Thunder, but you're going to get devastated. You're going to get annihilated. You're going to get embarrassed by the Oklahoma City Thunder.
I had a feeling I knew where he was going with that.
Right.
When he started that little diatribe.
You know, the Thunder are good, but we're making these dudes sound like they're the Jordan Bulls dynasty.
Yeah.
Let's pump the brakes here just a little bit. Shea is good, but it's not like the Pacers haven't eliminated some pretty good dudes in this postseason. Is Shea that much better than Giannis? Is he that much better than playoff Donovan Mitchell and the two-headed combo of Towns and Brunson? Pacers have beat some dudes, okay? So it's going to be offense against defense. The number 1 offense in the playoffs, which has been the Pacers. The number 1 defense, which is Oklahoma City. The 2 teams that have the best record in the NBA since January are the Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. And they're playing for it all. Let's go for it.
9-point underdogs.
It's a big number. Big number. And speaking of numbers, Allison, mood music, please.
What?
How about this? Hammer and Nigel show live this Thursday. A little Pacer viewing watch party at the casino in Shelbyville.
Oh, hell yeah.
We are going to be live at the Caesar Sportsbook inside of Horseshoe Casino, Indianapolis, down in Shelbyville. The show starts at 3. We're going to be there getting people ready for the Pacers game, and you can watch the game. You can bet on the game, drink during the game. They got food all around the joint. Do it at the Sportsbook inside Horseshoe Casino, Indianapolis, Caesar Sportsbook. And Nige, I am so fired up for this.
Big watch party. I believe the last time you and I were together in that casino, we were introducing Mini Kiss on stage. So I am glad they are having us back out there. And it's phenomenal. A Thursday night party. A watch party like no other, and like those guys know how to put one on, and we do too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And if you've never made a sports bet in your life, but you want to bet on the Pacers or maybe bet against the Pacers, I don't know, I'll be there. You can come talk to me. I'll help you out. The team at Caesars will help you out.
You got the podcast. You got the Degenerates betting podcast.
Yes.
Right.
And we're going to be there. I'm going to bring out some of my pro handicapper friends, and we're going to work the room, and we'll do some live betting. We'll do some end-of-quarter betting.
You think I can get hooked up with some free buffet?
I don't believe that's going to happen.
Come on.
No. Not going to happen, but... I'll buy you a beer.
Okay.
How about that?
All right, fine.
I'll buy you a beer, and we want you guys to come hang out with us. Have some beers with us. They got a lot of seats in that sports book, but it's first come, first serve. So if you want to get a big, comfy chair to watch the Hammer and Nigel show inside the sports book, get there. Our show starts at 3 o'clock. Get there whenever you feel is early enough, and then the game starts a little bit later on. So after our show ends, Nigel, maybe we'll go hit the center bar. Maybe we'll go hit the tables.
Do it.
I don't know. But then we'll come back and start betting and getting ready for game 1 of the Pacers and the Thunder NBA Finals.
This is the only job that I know of that actually costs me money when I go to work. And I have a feeling headed to the casino might cost me a little bit of money this Thursday while we're working.
Maybe, just maybe, a little bit. There's a reason why those big hotels and casinos look the way they do.
I'm fine with that.
Who knows, man? Maybe you'll go home a big winner. Pacers are big underdogs, so we'll see what happens. But we are going to be doing the watch party, the sportsbook, the Caesar Sportsbook inside of the Horseshoe Casino, Indianapolis in Shelbyville. Show starts at 3. Get there early, get a seat, have a beer. Let's rock this thing. Alan Green is filling in for Matt Baer.
On the southbound collector, traffic is backing up from the north to the south split. 465 southbound, slow from Washington to Shadeland. Eastbound, it's heavy from Allisonville to 69. 465 westbound, past Meridian to ditch some brake lights. And on the south side, 465 westbound, heavy from 74 to Emerson. This report brought to you by B-Window. Right now, B-Window's extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee-owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
YouTube chat. We want you guys there on Thursday. You guys need to show up, hang out with us. We'll have a big social convention there, right? Gonna have some cocktails, gonna have some drinks, gonna do some degenerate stuff. That's how the YouTube chat gets down. No excuse for the YouTube chat and the people that tweet this show at Hammer and Nigel to not be at the Sportsbook in Shelbyville this Thursday as we broadcast live. Right now, sunshine, 81 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And coming up next, we're gonna play a fun round of Cameo Price is Right, baby.
Ready?
Come on back.
Reach your fitness goals in 2025 with a 20-minute once-a-week program at Exercise Inc. 5 locations now in Fishers. Visit exerciseinc.com.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a DSNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A DSNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana DSNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills may be.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Attention men! Coastline Products is looking for 100 men to try our powerful new topical formula for male enhancement. So far, the feedback has been amazing. With Knox 47, it's male performance on demand that works in 47 seconds or less, satisfaction guaranteed. For the first 100 men, we're giving away a free bottle, totally discreet. Just looking for feedback. Call now to get your free bottle.
Call 800-417-0390. That's 800-417-0390. 800-417-0390.
Again, Coastline Products is looking for 100 men to try our powerful new topical formula for male enhancement. So far, the feedback has been amazing. With Knox 47, it's male performance on demand that works in 47 seconds or less, satisfaction guaranteed. For the first 100 men, we're giving away a free bottle, totally discreet. Just looking for feedback. Call now to get your free bottle.
Call 800-417-0390. That's 800-417-0390. 800-417-0390.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement. a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swanco 317-407-1868 or SwancoLLC.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer, please tell us how Cameo Price is Right works. First of all, what is Cameo?
Cameo is an online service where you can buy a personalized, customized message from a celebrity and send it to a friend. Now, when I say celebrity, Tom Cruise, probably not going to be on Cameo. Brad Pitt, George Clooney, not on Cameo. The people you will find on Cameo are like
Corey Feldman,
reality stars, former wrestlers, people like that. Folks that did sitcoms back in the 80s. These are the types of celebrities that are available, and for a price, you can buy their services and send it to a buddy.
Yeah, personalized message. They'll say whatever you want.
The way this game works, I'm going to give you the name of a celebrity that is currently available on Cameo. You tell me, without going over, Price is Right rules are in effect, how much they charge for a personalized message. First person to get 3 right is the winner, and you are playing for a delicious shot of hiatus tequila. Our friends at Hiatus,
right on.
A shot of hiatus tequila.
My favorite.
Okay, here we go. Nige, you won the last game, so the floor is yours.
Did I?
Tom Bergeron.
The game show guy?
Game show host, America's Funniest Home Videos, Dancing with the Stars. How much does he charge for a Cameo message?
I couldn't imagine more than $75.
75. Allison.
70.
Nigel's right, 95. 95.
Yeah.
Interesting.
1-0 Nige.
Yeah.
Allison, we go to you. Actor Orlando Jones. From the movie Drumline, he was Dr. Lee. He was in the movie The Replacements. And in Office Space, he was the person acting like he was hooked on drugs selling the magazines. Orlando Jones.
I'll go with 75.
Nige?
Now I'll go $100.
$300.
Wow.
$300.
Man.
I feel like these are all over the place every time. I never get these close.
Well, the celebrity themselves sets the market price.
Which is hilarious.
So Orlando Jones feels like he's 3 times more valuable than Tom Bergeron. All right, Nige, he's up 2-0. You got Allison on the ropes here. You can sweep her ass right out of here right during her own summer. How much does Bam Margera charge for a Cameo message? Jackass star, skateboard legend, Bam Margera.
$300.
Allison.
100.
Both of you over $50. $50 for Bam Margera.
Really?
That's it.
Wow. I thought he was on kind of a comeback. He's sober. Jackass brand, even though he's not really a member of that crew anymore.
You could get 6 Bams for 1 Orlando.
No rhyme or reason, I swear.
There is no rhyme or reason. I would think Bam Margera could get much more than Orlando Jones, or at least that.
All right, Allison, we go to you. Comedian Bill Engvall from the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. Here's your sign, Bill Engvall.
I'll go 50.
50. Nige.
No, I'll go 100.
150. Nigel sweeps Allison.
There you go.
Sweep her right out of here.
Someone's been hanging on Cameo a little bit.
It's the summer of Nigel all of a sudden.
What do I do? Do I get to do it, or do I pass it
it's
to a
your
friend?
choice. You can take the shot or pass it to a friend.
Allison or
Yes.
Hammer?
You're going to pass it?
I'm going to pass it.
Okay. Who's it to?
I'll pass it to you.
All right.
You got the You got it right in your hand there. Just do it from just chug it from the bottle.
Let's see. Before we do that, let's round out the field here, okay?
Okay.
Because I didn't anticipate a sweep. We had a couple minutes left here. Thanks for nothing, Allison.
Hey, I'm recovering from Friday.
How about Nigel? How about this one? Ricky Rockman, the former host of Headbangers Ball on MTV back in the day. Podcaster, radio host, Headbangers Ball, Ricky Rockman.
I would say 150.
Allison, do you have any idea who Ricky Rockman
I have
is?
no idea what you're talking about. I'll go with 100.
$65, both over.
Wow.
How about Tito Santana, Allison? Former 80s wrestling legend, Tito Santana.
Not the guitar player.
75?
Nige?
Hundy. People, the wrestling world pays a lot of money for these guys.
Okay.
This is kind of sad. $15.
Oh.
15?
$15, and you can get Tito Santana to cut a promo for you.
Man.
That's kind of embarrassing. All right, Allison, actor Sean Astin, Rudy. How much does Rudy charge?
200?
He's in the Goonies, Rudy.
Yeah, I'm going to go 201.
$100, both over.
Man,
$100.
What are we doing? We're just going down in flames here.
I know.
And the last one I had
round.
on the list.
But here the thing is with Rudy, again, he was in like Lord of the Rings. I mean,
Right.
gigantic, huge Hollywood studio movie productions.
He's been in work for like ever. Pops up in some Sandler movies once in a while, 50 First Dates.
What about Orlando Jones or Orlando, whatever his name?
Orlando Jones. Last one was actor, comedian Rob Riggle, former Comedy Central star.
Military guy.
Military guy. I know him best from The Hangover, where he was one of the police officers letting the kid shoot Alan in the face with the taser.
Well, he was in Step Brothers, too.
Don't be afraid to ride the lightning.
Yeah.
In the face!
He's been another one of those. He's just been so much.
Like Kobayashi.
So
Remember that
good.
scene? $100.
Allison?
Go 150.
Right on the nose. There you go, Allison. Way to step out on a high note.
Wow, I love cameo prices, right?
Me
I do
too.
too. I'm not even playing and I get the reward.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Love
It's the
it.
Hammer and Nigel show.
Are you planning for your retirement? Ensure you're on the right track with a crucial step, tax planning. At Absolute Wealth Management, LLC, every retirement plan we design includes comprehensive tax planning. Imagine maximizing your savings while minimizing tax burdens. Tax planning isn't just about the present. It's a cornerstone for retirement planning. The less you have to give to Uncle Sam, the more cash flow you have in retirement. So take control of your financial situation. Proper tax planning can help optimize your retirement income, leaving you with more time to enjoy the life you've worked hard for. Let us help you create a tax-efficient retirement plan. Your future self will thank you. Call Absolute Wealth Management, LLC, 317-288-0634. That's 317-288-0634. Or visit AbsoluteWealthManagementLLC.com. William Gonzalez offers investment advisory service through Gradient Advisors, LLC, 877-885-0508, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Absolute Wealth Management is not a registered investment advisor nor an affiliate of Gradient Advisors. Gradient Advisors, LLC, and its advisors do not render tax, legal, or accounting advice. Insurance offered through William Gonzalez, independent agent.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But DC politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hi,
Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln right now.
Get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 61,995, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers going on now. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Overdose police finding some answers in a death from last year. 79 downtown with radar showing no rain and no rain likely until Wednesday. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. You might remember hearing about a man found dead at an Indianapolis Planet Fitness last year. John Herrick has an update.
On Monday, IMPD announced that Heather Bradford was arrested on Friday for the death of Derek Sink. Sink was found dead inside the Planet Fitness on Hardigan Street in November of 2024. The Marion County coroner ruled his cause of death to be a narcotics overdose. Bradford was found and arrested at a gas station in Mooresville Friday afternoon. She was arrested for dealing in a controlled substance resulting in death, narcotics possession, and she had 2 active Morgan County warrants.
Anyone who votes against the One Big Beautiful Bill, including Senator Rand Paul, will be voting for a tax hike of more than $4 trillion on the American people, and their voters will know about it.
White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt on Fox's America reports. Senate Republicans are taking on President Trump's big, beautiful bill, but not everyone is on board. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul says he would support the bill if the debt ceiling hike was removed, telling CBS's Face the Nation that the math doesn't really add up. He also says 3 other Republicans plan to hold out on the bill unless it is modified. You may not realize when you use AI that there's, as yet, little government regulation. Fox's Asa Hasni reports from D.C.
Tucked away in the president's big, beautiful bill, at least the House's version, there is this 10-year ban on states stopping them from passing their own AI laws or enforcing any that they've already passed. AI is moving so fast, faster than the speed of light, and it's being used everywhere. Self-driving cars, copying a musician's voice. That's why governments around the world are regulating this tech, but the U.S. is just not there yet. Congress is moving extremely slow, and Democrats are blasting this ban, saying that the lack of rules could lead to an out-of-control big tech that would then put Americans, you at home, your data, your privacy at risk. House Republicans, though, say that the goal here is to prevent a patchwork of laws and give Congress a little bit more time to pass federal regulations.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
This summer, your hair deserves to shine as bright as the sun. Hey, y'all, it's Mindy Winkler from 97.1 Hank FM. We Grow Hair Indy wants to help keep your hair as strong and healthy as ever. UV rays, chlorine, salt water, and heat styling for frizz control can seriously hurt your hair at the root. So let's refresh it at We Grow Hair Indy. I love going out on our pontoon, swimming in our chlorinated pool, but I used to be really bad at not wearing a hat or rinsing my hair with fresh water soon after, all of which were impacting my hair and scalp. I can't even tell you how many times I used to burn my scalp when on vacation, which luckily didn't completely damage my follicles. Plus, my hair frizzes so easily, I have to make sure to apply a heating protecting product before I use my flat iron. Treatments like laser hair therapy and PRP can help restore your sun-damaged hair. So let's make this your best hair season yet. Set up your free consultation with We Grow Hair Indy at 317-522-2995. That's 317-522-2995. Or visit their website, WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Now traffic on 93 WIBC.
65 southbound traffic slows up between King Exit 114 and the north split. Southbound Collector is backed up from the north to the south split. 465 southbound delays from Washington to Shadeland. Eastbound it's heavy from Allisonville to 69. And 465 westbound between Meridian and Ditch, traffic is building there. This report brought to you by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to bwindows.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're partly cloudy and dry for a Monday night with lows in the upper 50s. Tuesday could challenge our warmest day of 2025 with highs in the upper 80s under partly cloudy skies and breezy winds. Also a little bit more humidity as well. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
It's Monday Gun Day with the Gun Guy.
Just watch out for the guns. They'll get you.
Guy Relford.
Stop calling your arms guns.
Hammer and Nigel show.
Yeah. I'm Nigel. Hammer's here. The Gun Guy, Guy Relford. 2A attorney, licensed firearms instructor. Damn fine American patriot here live for Monday Gun Day. Guy, how the hell are you?
Man, I'm great, and thanks as always to our sponsor for Monday Gun Day. That's Premier Arms in Brownsburg, the largest selection of new, used, and historic firearms in the Midwest, and PA Jewelers located in the farmhouse right out front. Check them out at 3754 South Green Street in Brownsburg or premierarms.com.
Maybe just talk generally about what you're seeing with 2A and the Supreme Court. A lot of action going on a lot of different angles and ways with the Supreme Court right now. What is on your radar? What has you most interested? It piqued your interest?
Yeah, it's a great question, Nigel. And the big news is that the Supreme Court just today denied transfer, what we call certiorari, on 2 Second Amendment cases. And a lot of us were really hoping the Supreme Court would take these 2 cases. The first one is Snope versus Maryland, or Snope v. Brown for the Attorney General, I think, in Maryland, that has to do with Maryland's so-called assault weapon ban that bans the most commonly owned rifles in America, the AR-15 and the like. And the petitioners in that case have been trying to get the Supreme Court to take the case, and Supreme Court today turned it down. And it was interesting because Justice Thomas, along with Alito, and Gorsuch dissented from that and said we should have taken this case. Kavanaugh wrote a separate statement that said, well, I think it's unquestionable that AR-15s are arms that are protected by the Second Amendment. I understand why we're not taking this case now, but surely we'll take one of these so-called assault weapon cases soon, perhaps this term or next term. But in the meantime, the people in Maryland, for instance, and there's something like 12 or 13 other states that have these so-called assault weapon bans, again, that ban the most commonly owned rifles in America, that they're all left under these laws that I think are clearly unconstitutional.
So if Brett Kavanaugh is so passionate about saying, hey, we'll do one of these, we're going to get to it eventually, we're going to have one of these AR-15 cases, why didn't you take up the Maryland case here, Guy?
Well, that is the operative question, Jason. You nailed it. And because under the so-called rule of 4, and you guys and I have talked about this before, this is not in the Constitution. It's nowhere in any law passed by Congress. It's just tradition. But under the rule of 4, unless 4 justices want to hear a case, then they don't take it. And they take the cases, they review them in what's called in conference, they talk about them, they decide whether they're going to take them or not. And so if Kavanaugh, instead of writing this statement that said, well, I hope we take one of these soon, would have just voted to take it, they'd be taking it. And so it's a great question. And so I'm disappointed in him. I'll tell you what, Amy Coney Barrett, as far as conservative issues, seems to have completely disappeared. And there's a lot of speculation that she got rattled. She got rattled when, the guy tried to break into Kavanaugh's house, to assassinate him, got rattled when there were overt threats against justices. And a lot of people have decided she's decided to keep a low profile and not do anything too conservative so as to not put the spotlight of the liberal crazies on her. That's pure speculation, but everything she does seems to be consistent with that. And of course, Roberts is a bit of a snake, and you never quite know what he's going to do. But yeah, Kavanaugh should have voted for this. It needs to be addressed. These are the most commonly owned rifles in America.
You can't buy one in Maryland.
No, you can't buy one.
You can't own one.
No, you cannot. And by the way, there was another case that was also turned down out of Rhode Island that said that it has to do with so-called high-capacity magazines. So the 15-round or 17-round magazine, like for instance, that I'm carrying in my handgun right now, would be illegal in Rhode Island. It holds more than 10 rounds, so I can't own it. And there's a deadline to say you have to destroy it, turn it into law enforcement, or permanently alter it so it cannot contain more than 10 rounds, or else it's illegal to possess.
And that's what I was wondering. Like, if I decide to, for whatever reason, pick up a move to Maryland, and I'm a gun owner, and I have like 5 AR-15s, what do you do?
Yeah, well, you don't take him into the state of Maryland, so you can leave him with a buddy and hoping the Supreme Court changes the law. You can sell them and hope to replace them later, but you can't possess them in Maryland.
It's Monday Gun Day with the gun guy, Guy Relford, with us. Guy, let's talk about what happened in Colorado over the weekend. Some anti-Semitic lunatic creates his own flamethrower, in essence,
here illegally,
and starts firing at people he believes is Jewish and starts yelling pro-Hamas, free Palestine propaganda. We've talked in the past. You get into trouble if you shoot someone in the back, right? If somebody is not a threat to you, if their back is turned, you shoot them in the back, you could be looking at some legal issues of your own.
Not necessarily. That's a rule you got from watching Westerns as a kid growing up. That's not necessarily the law, but I'm sorry, I interrupted. Continue with your question, then we'll go into it.
Okay, because this goes back to the convenience store argument that we've had before. If somebody's robbing you at gunpoint, threatens to kill you, and then turns around and walks out, if you shoot him in the back, you could be in trouble.
Well, that's to the extent there's no longer an active threat against you or any other person. See, that's the dispositive part. That's the important part.
Okay.
If I walk up on this guy, he's in a mall, he's already fired his homemade flamethrower once. He's got a lit Molotov cocktail, which apparently he also had. I saw a video of him walking around with 2 Molotov cocktails, and he's threatening other people with serious bodily injury or death. He could have his back to me because I can protect other people.
Okay.
To the same degree I can protect myself.
That's what I was wondering. If he's looking for other victims with his homemade flamethrower and his Molotov cocktail, can you shoot him in the back to eliminate the threat?
100%, because I can prevent serious bodily injury to third persons the same way I can prevent injury to myself. For instance, and this did not happen, but let's change the facts of the Greenwood Park Mall shooting to some degree. Let's say that guy, and we don't name mass shooters here or on my show either, but let's say that guy was in the Greenwood Park Mall shooting innocent people as he did, killed 3 beautiful innocent people. But let's say the hero of that situation, Eli Dicken, saw him shooting these innocent people from behind. That's not what happened. He was facing him. But let's say he was behind him to prevent him from shooting other innocent people in that mall. Could she shoot him in the back? Absolutely. Could he shoot him in the back of the head? Absolutely. Because he's protecting innocent people from serious bodily injury or death, and he had that reasonable belief that was necessary. That's what makes that justified.
It's just tough sometimes because you get into a situation where you're not sure if the assailant is fleeing and the threat is over, or is he running to find another victim?
Well, that's a great point, and that's something we spend a lot of time on in my gun law class that I teach every 6 weeks or so, because when there's no longer an active threat to you or a third person, and the person's just trying to get away, the bad guy is just trying to get away, you have to let him go. You can't shoot him as he's fleeing, but if he's not fleeing and he's still an active threat as against other people, the fact that his back is to you, can you still prevent him from causing serious bodily injury or death to other innocent people? 100%, no question.
And by the way, did you hear? I don't know if you were scrolling through social media over the weekend. Did you hear about another possible? There were rumors of a shooting at the Greenwood Park Mall. Did you see something like that?
I did.
They were squashed immediately, but there were cops running into that mall with long guns.
Oh yeah, there were, and it turns out somebody just fell or something.
Something
fell.
dropped and made a gun-like sound.
That's what I heard, and it was hitting the ground. Hell, I've been out at the gun show at the fairgrounds before when you heard what sounded like a gunshot, and people were running around and concerned, and I was out there one time because I had a table set up, and I said, "Man, that was a gunshot." And the guy next to me goes, "No, that was just a table falling over, hitting the concrete block floor. That sounds like a gunshot." I looked at him, I go, No, bro, that was a gunshot, and I'm thinking 9mm. And right about then, we saw 4 cops and an EMT go sprinting by.
No.
I go, I don't think they do that when it was a table falling over. But
yeah,
but in this case,
they take it seriously. I mean, it's
they do.
The no effing around crew down there and around the city when it comes to this kind of thing. Right?
Exactly, and God bless them. I'm glad we have that responsiveness.
Yeah.
And by the way, I've been to Castleton a couple of times. I was just in there a couple of days ago, dropping off some watches at a watch repair place. But I was walking by, and they have canine units in Castleton now. And I actually stopped and chatted with one of these guys.
At the mall?
At the mall, yeah. They have canine units, and I said, and I've been told this exists at Greenwood, too. And I'm sure I'll get social media responses to this because I had other ones. And I stopped and I said, let me guess, that guy right there can smell firearms or gunpowder or something similar. And he looks at me and he goes, yeah, they sure can. I go, how long does that linger? And look at him, and he goes, you don't want to know. And I said, okay, it's time for me to go. I got to get on down the road.
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend, yeah. But no, they apparently have dogs that can actually detect people. But now, it's not illegal to carry in the mall. And so if they, the dog alerts, let's say that guy would have alerted on me, which I was expecting to because I was carrying. And if he had alerted to me and said, are you carrying a gun right now? I'd say, A, I don't choose to answer any questions. And B, would you like me to leave the mall right now? And if he looked at me and said, yes, I'd like for you to leave, then I would have left. But I would not have been breaking any law at that point.
Right. It's not illegal. It's just a policy of the store.
Yeah, it's just a policy of the store. That's exactly the way to phrase it.
Come back for one more segment?
Yeah, always. You bet.
Monday Gun Day with the gun guy, Guy Relford. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You might be a long-time investor. You might be just starting out in your retirement planning. I fall closer to the latter. Matt Bear here. Hey, I've spent some time with Trajan Wealth, the fiduciary advisors, and Jeff did an amazing job explaining everything to me and keeping it simple and in terms I can understand. I felt 100% satisfied that my money would be secure and in the right hands. Call Trajan Wealth at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your first appointment. Trajan Wealth, listen to me. Listen to my visions of retirement. Then begin work on a custom portfolio designed just for me. One size does not fit all. Call Trajan Wealth and learn more about these strategies. Schedule a consultation. Meet the team at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon. You wish
homemade taste of Bluebell, and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell Groom's Cake Ice Cream is renewing its vows on the frozen aisle. Milk chocolate ice cream with chocolate cake pieces, chocolate-coated strawberry hearts, swirls of strawberry sauce, and chocolate icing. See you at the reception.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Reinhardt Heating and Cooling? Find that American Standard air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to B.
Recovery is a journey, and no one walks it alone. The Supporting Sobriety podcast helps friends and families understand addiction, offer support, and care for themselves along the way. Hosted by Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Alan Green, what's going on?
Hey, Hammer, 69 northbound before State Road 67. There's a crash. It's got the left shoulder, but the left lane also partially blocked. A backup there. 65 southbound slows between King exit 114 and the north split. And the southbound collector's heavy from the north to the south split. 465 southbound, some backups between Washington and Shadeland. This report brought to you by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
It's 81 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Monday Gun Day. Guy Relford with us. And Guy, we've been talking recently about the 5-year anniversary of the riots in Indianapolis. And Nigel and I played some audio clips of some business owners downtown, and it's just heartbreaking to think back 5 years from now, these guys who had worked their whole lives to build a business in a very expensive, piece of property here on Monument Circle, to just have it be open for grabs for any criminal, any thug that wanted to go in there, break a brick, throw a fire, and loot it out. They were just left to fend for themselves from the city of Indianapolis. Is there any progress at all? I know there's been legislation that would allow business owners to use a weapon in defense of their store property.
Yeah, well, we've sure tried, and we're sure working at it, and we're not giving up yet. But with 3 different years in the 5 years since that's happened, 3 different legislative sessions, we've had bills that would allow and it's varied from bill to some degree, but at a minimum would allow a business owner to point their firearm at someone in order to protect their business. In other words, dude's walking up with a brick to throw it through my front window, who's then going to, of my business in downtown Indy, who's then going to proceed to, stroll through the window and gut my business, loot my business. Can I point my gun at them and say, no, not my business? And currently that's illegal. I go to jail on a felony if I do that. I can protect myself with
You're the bad guy pointing a gun at a guy that's thrown a brick, Molotov cocktail, and is trying to loot your store.
Right. I know I can defend myself. That's different. But just to defend my business or my personal property, I cannot point my gun at them.
Who's holding this back? Because this seems like it's common sense that this would be passed. Who's holding this back?
It is. We've passed it twice. Senator Young in the Senate has introduced 2 different bills. Jim Lucas and I worked on a bill in the House. It's passed the Senate twice. We've not been able to get it out of the House. Every single time it's died in the Courts and Criminal Code Committee of the House, chaired by one Wendy McNamara from Evansville, quote-unquote Republican, who refuses to hear the bill. So it's died in committee every single time.
What's up her butt?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I mean, seriously, it's a funny question the way I put it, but something's going on there.
Yeah, the scuttlebutt is that she doesn't really feel that strongly about Second Amendment issues, and that she may be influenced by the angry ladies in red, the Moms Demand Action ladies that show up occasionally to hearings. Although, if you'd have a hearing and listen to the arguments on either side, you'd see that all the logic is on one side of this. All the logic is on the side of passing this bill. It doesn't change. Nothing we've ever introduced would change the rules about when you're justified in using deadly force, when you're justified in pulling the trigger on a firearm. It just allows people more flexibility to defend their businesses, especially in situations. I always talk about Windsor Jewelry on my show, and I know you guys have too, because I don't think there's anything more heartbreaking than walking by that business after the riots. And, I had a show the night of the riots, and I was out of here before anything serious got going. But to walk by Windsor Jewelry and see how gutted and destroyed that whole business was, and to think that if I owned that business, I couldn't stand up front and go, hell no, you're not destroying my livelihood.
Ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
If somebody wants to find you, hire you, ask a question to you, where can they find you?
Really, on Twitter or X, at Guy Relford. Give me a follow on there, at Guy Relford on Twitter.
Come hang out with us Thursday at the casino in Shelbyville, Guy. Come on by.
I heard you guys talking about that. I wasn't able to make it to Carb Day, and so I got to do that. We always have so much fun when I come hang out. It's always the highlight of my week, so I got to do that.
Guy, you're the best.
Thanks, guys.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, my new Galaxy concrete coated utility room floor in my basement is out of this world. A lot of people with basements know what I'm talking about. Their utility room where the sump pump is and the furnace, it's all pretty scary, and the concrete's always dirty and cracked and gross. And they came in just like they did with my garage and changed it within a day. It's 4 times stronger. They don't use epoxy. They use something better. They use polyurea. They do everything from garages, basements, pool decks, any indoor, outdoor area concrete. Get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or call them 751-9070.
911, what's your emergency?
In an emergency, voice is best. But what if you can't call?
Escalated domestic disturbance reported east of downtown. Be advised, alert was received by a 911 emergency text. Caller is hiding in a closet and can't use her voice.
When the situation is too dangerous to make a call, text to 911. Capability Now helps Hoosiers. But in most emergencies, voice is still best.
My sister's not breathing. Please hurry.
In the last 5 years, Hoosiers have used text capability in over 1 million 911 sessions. It's of great help to the deaf and speech impaired, and to those in select dangerous situations. Thanks to the statewide 911 board, Indiana leads the nation with all 92 counties having in- and outbound text capability. For more, visit in911.net.
It's good to hear your voice. Help is on the way.
911. Before you text, voice is best.
Gotta love summertime. It's for enjoying outdoor music and vacations, and our pals at AAA Hoosier Motor Club can help you save on both. AAA is now the official travel partner of Ruoff Music Center, and AAA members are going to enjoy some big-time benefits. Early entry into concerts, access to the AAA Premier Lounge. Can't wait to go see Chris Stapleton this summer.
Concerts at Ruoff, always a good time, always a fun time. Same with going on a vacation. And AAA members save with access to hotel discounts, rental car discounts, and a lot more, along with complimentary travel planning. Plus, if you run into trouble on the road, AAA has you covered. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas. AAA is there 24/7, 365, no matter where your travels take you. So do yourself a favor. Join AAA today. AAA.com, 844-GO-AAA-GO, or stop by your local AAA office.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
Pat Sullivan here with Michaela of Michaelis. If you have water damage,
Why should you call Michaelis?
Michaelis is a local family-owned Indianapolis company with 39 years experience. On call 24/7, 365. We are IICRC certified and will restore your space to pre-loss condition or better. And we work through the entire insurance process on your behalf to make it easy.
Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
Hannah complained of a headache. It was a rhabdomyosarcoma. The tumor was very aggressive, and it very quickly became clear that St. Jude was the ultimate place to be. St. Jude is an asset to the world. I think it's the kind of place that could teach the world a couple of lessons about how to treat people. If those lessons could be learned, this world could be a better place.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
More charges are coming. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The man accused of attacking a pro-Israel group in Colorado with homemade firebombs yesterday is facing multiple state charges, already charged with a hate crime in a federal complaint.
Authorities say of the suspect, quote, he stated that he wanted to kill all Zionist people and wished they were all dead. He specifically targeted the Zionist group that had gathered in Boulder, having learned about the group from an online search. The victims who make up this group were demonstrating on this pedestrian mall peacefully, like they do every week, to remind the world that there are still hostages being held by Hamas in Gaza.
Fox's Alicia Acuna in Boulder. 8 people were injured. President Trump blaming his predecessors' immigration policies.
Sunday's horrific attack in Boulder, Colorado will not be tolerated in the United States, President Trump writes in a social media post. The president says the suspect came through former President Biden's ridiculous open border policy and calls it another example of why we must keep our borders secure and deport illegal anti-American radicals. The suspected attacker is identified as Mohammed Sabri Soliman. Fox News has learned Soliman is an Egyptian national who overstayed a visa to the U.S. in 2023.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. President Trump and China's President Xi could have a call this week on trade issues after the countries accused each other of violating a recent deal that led to a tariff pause.
The Treasury Secretary says that China has slow-walked exporting some rare earth minerals, angering this administration. The Chinese Communist Party wants President Trump to lift export controls on the highest of technology, from everything from the most advanced artificial intelligence chips to planes and aerospace technology.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence. Sources also telling him the U.S. trade team sent a letter to multiple countries asking for trade offers by this Wednesday. A strong finish to start June. The Dow up 35 at the bell. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An overdose inside a Planet Fitness, now an arrest. 79 on Monument Circle. The high today, 83, and a much hotter high of 89 expected tomorrow. No rain in the immediate vicinity. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02.
After the coroner's office was able to determine that it was an overdose of what Mr. Sink died from, our detectives went to work and they were able to determine who he purchased the narcotics from.
Indianapolis Metro Police Officer Lieutenant Justin Goff on the arrest of 41-year-old Heather Bradford, now accused of being the dealer who sold 39-year-old Derek Sink the fentanyl that caused his death inside the Planet Fitness on Hardigan Street, November 8th, 2024. Goff says Sink died in the tanning area, and the investigation took months because of all the evidence needed for the arrest. A person shot by police in Auburn Sunday evening. Jake McDaniel reports Indiana State Police are looking into it.
It all started when that person went inside a home on West 11th Street and pointed a gun at someone. The suspect ran off as officers arrived at the scene, but police quickly caught up. That's when both the suspect and officers opened fire. No officers were injured, but those involved were put on administrative leave, which is standard in these cases. Jake McDaniel, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett should resign, says City County Councilor Andy Nielsen, saying Hogsett's administration took too long to take action against a member of the team, Thomas Cook, who resigned in 2020 after having an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate. Nielsen is the second councilor to say Hogsett should give it up. He says the administration kept Cook for too long after finding out about what went down. In Anderson, 24-year-old Colin Ball is under arrest. Police say he carjacked a woman in a Speedway parking lot just before 5 this morning, then led police on a chase, bailed, and was caught fairly easily with the help of a police dog. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
Now traffic on 93 WIBC.
On 69 northbound before State Road 67, there's a crash partially blocking the left lane. Traffic is stop and go from State Road 236. 65 southbound heavy from King exit 114 to the north split. Southbound Collector is jammed up from the north to the south split. And 465 westbound between Meridian and Ditch, traffic is building there. This report brought to you by Payday. Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is one hard-working candy bar. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're partly cloudy and dry for a Monday night with lows in the upper 50s. Tuesday could challenge our warmest day of 2025 with highs in the upper 80s under partly cloudy skies and breezy winds. Also a little bit more humidity as well. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it.
Oh, yeah, Hammer and Nigel show going out on the road. Woo! The road show later this week, Thursday. What's happening Thursday night, Hammer? Maybe just fill us in on the details. What am I missing here?
Oh, there's a little basketball game taking place.
Yes.
Game 1 of the NBA Finals featuring your Indiana Pacers and those no good, rotten Oklahoma City Thunder. And the Hammer and Nigel show will be live at the big casino in Shelbyville.
Oh, yeah.
Inside the Caesars Sportsbook, the sportsbook area, inside of Horseshoe Casino Indy, the big place in Shelbyville this Thursday. Our show starts at 3. We're going to do our thing. And then when our show ends, I might walk around, have a drink, hit the bar, hit the tables, and we're going to come back and watch the Pacers open up a can on the Oklahoma City Thunder.
This place is your old stomping grounds, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
Are they going to let you back in the building?
See, that's interesting. I may be on a do not allow inside the premises list. I'm not sure. But no, I had some good times there, and looking forward to the big show this Thursday. Shelbyville. Last time we came to your city, you guys showed out. We went to that bar. I don't think it's around anymore. The bar restaurant Putters. And, man, we had lines around the corner.
So much fun, man.
So get there early if you want one of those comfortable seats in the sports book where you can just relax and dig your ass down in there and have a beer.
Am I going to have to spend money? Am I going to have to get an Uber again? I'm going to.
Well, I'm not driving you. So probably. Seriously, you guys.
Come on out and party with us.
Come out and party with us. The live show starts at 3, the game's later, and that's the place to watch all the NBA Finals games. You can bet, you can live bet, you can do all that stuff. Eat, drink. If you've never bet on sports before, come find me. I'll help you. I'll walk you through the whole process. We're going to have a good time on Thursday. Eddie White of the Pacers, he's going to join us coming up here in about 30 minutes, and we'll talk about the actual game itself.
Nice.
Let's go back to that terror situation in Boulder, Colorado this past weekend. I believe it was yesterday. 3 senior DHS sources are telling Fox News that the Boulder terror suspect was trying to burn Jewish people alive. He's an Egyptian national.
Yeah, he's throwing around Molotov cocktails, right?
An Egyptian national in the U.S. illegally as a visa overstay who entered during the Biden administration. The suspect yelled "Free Palestine," used a makeshift flamethrower. He arrived at LAX back in August of 22, and he had an overstayed expired work visa.
Overstayed expired work visa. What does that sound familiar to you? Think back about 20 years, 23 years or so. Overstayed expired visas. Overstayed his expired visa. I don't know, man. I saw that. I'm watching this documentary on Netflix right now about Osama bin Laden and the planning and the things in 9/11. And when I see expired visas, that immediately takes me back to 2001.
And let's be honest, so many of these people were given the green light to enter and claim they were vetted. There's no way. Did that app that Biden rolled out decline anyone? Anyone? I don't think it did. I think it had a 100% success ratio. You could have filled out that app that the Biden admin rolled out and said, I plan to do mass terrorism and kill as many infidels as possible. Approved. Come on in.
Yeah.
Vote blue. I mean, that's what it came down to.
How many more of these people are there walking around with this intent? Like, you talk to the neighbors, you hear witness testimony of who this guy was. Oh, I would have had no idea he was like this. This guy's the nicest guy I've ever met. No clue this could have ever been something he was capable of. Well, it turns out not so much. How many other of these people that are walking around with expired visas are capable of the same thing in this country?
And we're having stories like this every week now, these anti-Semitic pieces of trash. A couple weeks back, it was, a shooting that killed people near the consulate. Now you've got this terror attack in Boulder. It's ridiculous. Republican Senator Rand Paul believes that the big, beautiful bill.
It's big. It's beautiful. It's a bill.
Thinks it's way too high. Thinks there's too much spending involved here. Quote, I think they're asking for too much money. He opposes the debt ceiling provision in the bill and says, quote, if I vote for the $5 trillion debt, who's left in Washington that actually cares about the debt? That's Rand Paul. And Nigel, I think he's got a point.
Nobody.
Little Dave Mason throwback there.
Nobody.
I like it. Old Dave needs the money.
I love how Rand Paul just is stating the obvious at its most simplistic. Yeah, they're asking for too much money.
Right?
Yeah. You think?
Senator Paul, why are you against the bill? It's too much money. Thanks. House Speaker Mike Johnson doubled down on his claim that there won't be Medicaid cuts in the big, beautiful bill, despite projections that millions of low-income individuals would lose health insurance. Now, he pushed back on that, saying that that's completely false. And if anything, this bill strengthens Medicaid, and it's intended for specific groups like young, single, pregnant women, the disabled, the elderly, the people who should be taking advantage of the Medicaid. That's who this bill is supposed to help. But there are some folks that...
Hakeem Jeffries, election denier, minority House leader, quote, people will die. People will literally die
He's not one for hyperbole, but if you pass the bill, you're all going to die.
Yeah.
Okay.
If Big Beautiful Bill passes.
That's election denier, Hakeem Jeffries?
Yes. I'm not saying I love the bill. I'm not saying one way or the other, but I'm saying, the Democrats, I mean, they literally generated trillions of dollars in debt and inflation before Donald Trump took office. And now to come on the air, I think he's with Dana Bash or whoever, who's the blonde woman that we talk about on CNN, whatever. It's come on and say that, and then have the gall to say people will literally die. Do you have the stats on that? Do we have the projections? Do we have the proof that people will die? Like, the point of the Big Beautiful Bill is, all right, we're going to try to spend the money. We're going to grow the economy. We're going to grow the economy, and we're going to even out this ratio a little bit. I'm just saying that's their reasoning. I'm not saying I like it. I'm not saying I want to do it. But the reasoning is we're going to grow this economy. We're going to spend some money, but you got to spend money to make money.
And I agree with that. But man, does anybody trust the government, Republicans or Democrats, to get it right and do that? I like what Trump has done. I believe in Trump's economy. I do. But if this were Democrats pushing through another $5 trillion, we'd say, what the hell are you doing? Our dollar's going to be worth nothing. Yeah. This company is going to go belly up in a number of years. This is why Elon Musk is so ticked off. It's not just the Doge cuts. He told us from the very beginning, if you don't stop the spending, we're going to run out of money. And here's another bill from a bunch of dudes that promised to cut the fat, cut the trim, cut the waste. Here's an extra $5 trillion.
Boom.
Boom, bada, boom. All right, Matt Bear is out, which means we've got mean Alan Green with a look at the roads.
Quite right. And on 70 westbound before the north split, there's a crash blocking the center lane. Traffic's backed up from rural Keystone. 69 northbound before State Road 67. Left lane is blocked with an accident. Back up now from State Road 236. 465 southbound slows between 34th and Crawfordsville. And on the 65 southbound between 114 exit of King and the north split, we got a backup there as well. This report brought to you by Payday. Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is one hard-working candy bar. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Beautiful day, man. This is awesome. Sunshine and 81 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Again, we got Eddie White at the Pacers on the way about 4:35. But up next, time to play America's fastest growing game sensation. Is This Anything? That is next.
If you have a snoring problem or sleep apnea, odds are you have blockage in both your throat and your nose. Now, for those who've gone elsewhere and wonder why their issues aren't getting better, this is where the problem lies. Because the true root of your problem very well may be your nose. We believe we'll find that your nose isn't working the way it should. And once we do get your nose working, your CPAP mask can finally work, or you can lose that CPAP mask altogether. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where we offer every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution available, including simple in-office procedures that can get your nose and your throat working properly. It's a simple concept. If you're going to get your best sleep, you have to be able to breathe well. Go to adventknows.com to schedule an appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Attention men! Coastline Products is looking for 100 men to try our powerful new topical formula for male enhancement. So far, the feedback has been amazing. With Knox 47, it's male performance on demand that works in 47 seconds or less, satisfaction guaranteed. For the first 100 men, we're giving away a free bottle, totally discreet. Just looking for feedback. Call now to get your free bottle.
Call 800-417-0390. That's 800-417-0390. 800-417-0390.
Again, Coastline Products is looking for 100 men to try our powerful new topical formula for male enhancement. So far, the feedback has been amazing. With Knox 47, it's male performance on demand that works in 47 seconds or less, satisfaction guaranteed. For the first 100 men, we're giving away a free bottle, totally discreet. Just looking for feedback. Call now to get your free bottle.
Call 800-417-0390. That's 800-417-0390. 800-417-0390.
At Hendricks,
your cancer care is in the details.
You have questions, and our dedicated clinicians and expert oncologists will answer them.
You have hills to climb,
and we are going to climb them.
You have dreams, and we're here to help you chase them. You have cancer, and you have all the expertise,
the determination, and the kindness of the entire Hendricks team.
Backed by Mayo Clinic expertise.
It's not just cancer care.
It's Teresa Care. Visit hendricks.org/cancer.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
We set out to be the very best of the best, and past couple years we've actually achieved that. For all of the state of Indiana, we've been awarded the Dealer of the Year award twice now. Unlike other brands, that only gets handed to one dealer every year, and we're very proud to have won that twice.
Put the best to work for you at FamilyHVAC.net. Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed. That's presented by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana. Reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. $1 million in unclaimed property every single week, going back to you. Fast, easy, and free. See if you got any money floating around out there at indianaunclaimed.gov.
Did you ever get your cash? You said you had some out there.
Yeah,
Have you got it back yet?
I'm still working on it.
Okay.
I'm still working on it.
Cool.
I've gotten cash before. The Indiana Unclaimed's been around for a while.
You know who you are? You're Cash Patel. That's who you are.
Okay.
Is this anything? A Thai man was sent to the hospital after an 11-foot python bit off his crank while he was using the toilet.
No.
He managed to tie a rope around the snake's head and then tied it to his bathroom door to keep it from escaping.
Yeah, he wanted
snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
The snake was later released back into the wild.
What? I hope they got the crank out of its jowls and was able to reattach it. I'm looking at this story right now, and they're showing this man. They're showing the snake. It's tied to this door. There's blood in the toilet. And then there's another picture of this victim in the hospital bed, but he's got a big smile on his face. He's doing a thumbs up. like,
I don't think I ever saw Fonz that happy on Happy Days.
I think they were able, it doesn't say it in this story, but I think they were able to retrieve the crank and sew it back on, a la Babbitt
John Wayne Bobbitt.
John Wayne Bobbitt.
Yes,
John Wayne Bobbitt. So,
and he had a career in adult films afterwards.
He made lemonade out of lemons for sure. After that woman cut his crank off.
So what happens if the snake got away? Like, do they have extra cranks they could have put on this guy? Is he down to a prosthetic at that point?
You're down to a prosthetic, I would think, at that point. But, I mean, is there nothing more horrible? This is a Thai man. So Thailand?
Yes.
And he's sitting doing his business in and not just it was a a boa, like a giant snake, one of those big ones, one of those big daddies.
An
Like
11-foot python.
11-foot python.
Think about how big 11 feet is.
No.
So imagine you've got Rick Smits standing up, and then you put Muggsy Bogues on his shoulders. That's how big this damn snake was that bit this dude's crank off.
How do you get in the toilet to do that in the first place?
Right. You feel like that snake wouldn't fit coming through the pipes.
And then how do you let it go after that? I'd be upset.
Right. Why are we letting the crank-biting snake go? Like, that's what I think you got to take out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want him back out in the wild biting off other cranks.
Getting into other toilets.
Right.
It's my wife. Like, literally, my wife's worst fear is something of similar, getting bitten on the toilet by some sort of reptile or insect.
Really?
Yeah.
I love the fears of your family. Like, there's got to be some sort of therapy session. Like, why are you so scared to pee? And why are you so scared you're going to get mauled by a tiger going to your mailbox? Like, somewhere a therapist could make a lot of money on the Laskowskis.
Go look up the story from Atlanta, how the one tiger escaped from the guy's backyard. A private owner of a tiger, the thing escaped and it was loose. So go, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could.
The opening scene of the Nigel biopic. Think I'm going to go get the mail. Oh, my God! Is this anything? Police in New Jersey rescued a 2-year-old who climbed into the luggage belt at the Newark airport. So a 2-year-old got up on that little luggage belt thing that goes around at the airport.
Oh, yeah.
The kid went down a chute at the end of the belt.
I think I saw this, yeah.
2 police officers were walking by and jumped into action. One of them was able to grab the kid right before he went through the x-ray machine. Luckily, the kid's fine. Here's the president of the Port Authority Police Union, Frank Conti, talking about the rescue.
Something that happened in the blink of an eye. There was a split in the belts. One officer went toward one direction, one went toward the other direction. One of them was able to observe the child as the child was approaching one of the x-ray units.
And I'm trying to share this. First of all, if I was a kid, that'd be incredible. If I was a kid, I'd be like, yeah, I'm all about getting in the baggage, going into the luggage rack.
Running the chute down.
Yeah, seeing what's back there. But there's this great video of this old lady, I think it's in Moscow. She just takes a wrong turn and walks right into the luggage conveyor belt baggage area. And I'm trying to post it right now. And she just falls right down and goes straight. You see her disappear into those long rubbery things that are hanging down.
Right.
And here it is. Yeah, go to @HammerandNigel on X, and you'll see the old lady. Click on that, Hammer. I just want you to watch that. A woman spotted attempting to walk straight down the luggage area. So if I was a kid, by the way, certainly want to get on that thing and take a little ride.
Okay, she's walking. Yeah, she's... What are you walking for, lady? What are you doing?
Look, she falls straight back.
Oh,
there she goes, disappearing into the...
It's almost like somebody grabbed her by the feet and they're like dragging her in. Yeah. Like an evil clown was on the other end, just dragging her into danger. But where is she going?
This looks like it's someplace in Moscow. I see some foreign language. Something says Moscow, but she just... Nobody noticed either until she was like halfway through the conveyor.
Right.
Those little long rubber sleeves that hang down.
Looks like something from a car wash.
Yes,
almost.
Exactly. Yeah. She gave her back. She thought she was walking down one of those moving walkways, and instead it was the luggage. It was the baggage conveyor belt.
And I can't tell if she's got on a hat or is that like Dick Versace hair?
No, she's got a hat on for sure.
Okay.
@Hammer and Nigel, if you'd like to see footage of that.
Is this anything? Millions of honeybees escaped after a big crash carrying a load of the insects tipped over in Washington. Here is beekeeper Derek Condon and Matt Klein, the deputy director for the county office emergency management team, talking about the escaped honeybees.
When they said 200 million bees, they meant it.
So when I heard that this had happened, we thought, well, we got the suits. Let's go and see what we can do and help. So we're basically one by one rebuilding the beehives over there, putting the frames back in and then having to stack them.
It calms them down with the smoke. Sometimes it works. When they're really angry like this, it doesn't really work too well.
We've had a number of the beekeepers, they've gotten stung, as well as a couple of our deputies.
Yeah, that's something.
2 million bees on the loose?
I think it said 200 million.
That's a lot
on
of
the
bees.
loose. I mean, how do these trucking... I wonder how it works with the industry, with the trucking industry and the transportation of this stuff and the insurance. I don't know what kind of price you would pay because millions of honeybees escaped after the truck turned it over. And then you have these guys, these beekeepers are setting up places on the side of the road to try to catch these things.
Right.
Remember we had that story last week of how the semi-truck tipped over and like 10 million dimes fell out all over the highway.
Yes.
And they were their solution was just to have dudes bending over with their hands, picking them up and putting them into buckets.
Picking it right off the street.
It's a little more complicated when you're dealing with hundreds of millions of honeybees that could sting you.
And the thing is, man, we need honeybees so bad, but at the same time, I don't want to be the guy that helps. I'm out.
Good luck.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell Groom's Cake Ice Cream is renewing its vows on the frozen aisle. Milk chocolate ice cream with chocolate cake pieces, chocolate-coated strawberry hearts, swirls of strawberry sauce, and chocolate icing. See you at the reception.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at all Kroger and Payless supermarkets.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
More people dead, more destruction, and yet the will to end the war seems flat. It's now made it to 80 degrees on Monument Circle with no rain on radar, none expected, at least until Wednesday. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. Russia and Ukraine wrapping up another round of talks without a major breakthrough to end the war. Fox's Jared Halpern from the White House.
The two sides agreed to swap war dead and wounded troops, but it does not appear Russia and Ukraine made progress towards ending their 3-year war. war after a day of talks in Turkey. President Trump has proposed a 30-day ceasefire that so far has been accepted only by Ukraine.
The president wants this war to end at the negotiating table, and he's made that very clear to both leaders, both publicly and privately.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt did not detail President Trump's reaction to today's talks, but says he remains open to personally sitting down with Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Did this guy take the drugs inside the Planet Fitness? Have you determined that yet? We believe so. We believe he used them in the tanning bed area.
WIBC's Ryan Hedrick talks with Indy Metro Police Lieutenant Jeffrey Goff about the arrest of 41-year-old Heather Bradford, now charged with dealing 39-year-old Derek Sink the fentanyl that killed him when he OD'd inside a Planet Fitness in Indianapolis November 8th, 2024.
At this point, we know the exchange happened somewhere in the vicinity. We're not sure if it was inside the building or outside the building.
That arrest announced today. Economic tensions between the U.S. and China. President Trump wants to hold talks with his Chinese counterpart. Fox Business's Edward Lawrence reporting.
The Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, says that the trade talks have stalled with the Chinese and Chinese goods coming into this country. The president believes that China has broken the mini agreement that was brokered between the two countries in Geneva. A White House official telling me they expect the call with President Xi to happen this week. The Treasury Secretary says that China has slow-walked exporting some rare earth minerals, angering this administration. The Chinese Communist Party wants President Trump to lift export controls on the highest of technology, from everything from the most advanced artificial intelligence chips to planes and aerospace technology.
You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Pat Sullivan here. Have you heard about impact-resistant shingles? They're the smart choice for protecting your home from harsh weather. And here's something you may not know. Most insurance companies offer discounts on your premiums if you install them. At the Michaelis Corporation, we offer top-tier Category 3 and Category 4 impact-resistant shingles that stand up to the toughest storms. From hail to high winds, these shingles offer a 30-year warranty that stands by their durability. And when a weather event hits, don't worry. Let Michaelis perform a free inspection of your property to ensure everything is in top condition. We don't inspect the roof at ground level. Our experts will safely climb onto the roof to check for damages. Roof, gutter, siding, windows are all inspected for storm damage. Michaelis Corporation provides over 35 years of disaster restoration. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. 844-FIXED-INDY. That's 844-FIXED-INDY.
Now traffic on 93 WIBC.
65 northbound is shut down right now between State Road 47 and the Lebanon Rest area due to a crash. Got an accident on 65 southbound at Edgewood. 69 northbound before State Road 67, an accident. Left lane still partially blocked. The tow is on the scene. There's a backup from State Road 236. And on 70 westbound before the north split, a crash has a center lane blocked. Traffic is jammed back from Emerson. This report brought to you by B-Window. Right now, B-Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee-owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're partly cloudy and dry for a Monday night with lows in the upper 50s. Tuesday could challenge our warmest day of 2025 with highs in the upper 80s under partly cloudy skies and breezy winds. Also a little bit more humidity as well. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams.
Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, yeah. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
He is the host of the world's greatest post-game show, and he is working deep into June because the Pacers have made the NBA Finals. Eddie White, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Man, we're good, and I don't know if we're doing as good as you, Eddie. I think I saw a photo on Instagram where after Saturday night's clinching win, you were out there acting like you're 22 years old again, closing down cigar bars, out having bourbon and drinks and tying one on, right?
Let me tell you something. It was a long day to begin with. The game, these playoff games are longer, and so the post game shows goes longer. And I told the producer, listen, if we win, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be off the charts. So it's the post game show. We were having it. Rick Houston called in and gave his memories and his thoughts, and Steve Simon called in. Hey, and then we do the show, and I get done. I find out my family is still downtown. They're at Prime 47, hanging out. And I'm like, yeah, but it's late. I'm like, yeah, but people are still here. Everybody's asking for you. So I said, oh, what the hell? So traffic was a mess. So when I finally got there, walked in, spent some time there. Then some colleagues said, hey, there's a private party for Pacers employees at Commission Row. I'm like, well, that can't be going on now. Like, oh, yeah, people are going over. I'm like, okay. So Eddie Gill was there, and we went over, and gosh darn it, there was a private party for us at Commission Row. And then when I finally got home, I couldn't sleep, and I wanted to watch the Turner stuff to see what happened, what they say after the game, whatever. And the next thing I look up my car, it's 4:05 in the morning.
Yeah.
I haven't been up at 4:05. The only time I'm up at 4:05 is to go to the bathroom, pee, or maybe 25 years ago back in the day. But you know what? You only live once, and what a night that was for Central Indiana.
And to do it against the Knicks. Like, I know some people will say the finals are the finals, blah, blah. That's great. But to do it to that rotten, no good New York media, the fan base, Eddie, that was the cherry on top of the blue and gold sundae.
Yeah, I love the back page of the Post today. It says Indiana groans. Yeah, it's 4 series in a row. Indiana groans. It's 4 series in a row they've lost to us, and I agree with you. The media can be a little goofy. The fans are nuts. And, what I do love is that there's such great respect between the coaches and the players. And I couldn't marvel at one of our home games. I think it was 4. I remember like John Starks and Austin Crozier a couple of years ago. I told you guys that they wanted to play golf. And I said to Austin Crozier, I said, Starks? I thought you guys didn't like those guys. No, we're great guys. I went out there, I got him on a golf course here locally, and Starks has his own cigar, and he gave me the brand, and I'm like, what a nice guy. Well, the game 4, who's walking in together but 2 guys who battled back in the day when it was the New York Nets and the Indiana Pacers, get out of the same car, they're going to have dinner and going to game, Rick Barry and Darnell Hillman. And I'm like, okay, I get it now. The rivalry and the insanity is for the fans, but the competitors have the greatest respect for each other. But you're right. It's just better to beat New York and to beat the Knicks and to send them home with. And I will say this: Spike Lee, Timothy Chalamet, and Ben Stiller and all those guys were very gracious to the Pacer fans. They were nice when they were here. They cheered for their team. There was no malarkey. They handled themselves really well. But I'm just glad we beat them.
Well, I mean, you mentioned three out of the 4. John Mellencamp had a few things to say about Pat McAfee, and that kind of blew up in his that kind of blew up in his face a little bit. I love McAfee. I love the energy he brought, and I thought that but the whole thing. But you're right. The whole thing, the celebrities, the back and forth, it was just fun. It was a fun series, wasn't it? I had a great time.
It was a great series. It was a great series. I personally, and I'm not speaking for organization, I don't think you should use foul language to greet people who paid for their tickets and were guests of the Pacers in the NBA with kids in the stands. I mean, you shouldn't use foul language.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I also, Mellencamp, I thought was out of line. I mean, I know he goes to a lot of IU games. He was never there when Purdue played. I mean, really? Right. I mean, hello? I know you're rooting for the team that wears crimson. You didn't hear what the Crimson kids were saying to the Purdue people, and you're yelling because we, quote-unquote, booed? He needs to get a grip. I didn't like what he did, but this series was fantastic. It was so emotional, and now it's going to be. Hey, this is going to be tough. I mean, this is going to be tough. Those guys have been the best team in the league all year. They got the MVP. They're so deep. I mean, our secret sauce has been that we're deep, and you don't know who's going to get you. Well, we're looking in the mirror going, uh-oh, those guys are like us. I think if this series can somehow go 7 games, it's going to be the best display of beautiful basketball that the league has seen in years. And I know it's not New York and L.A., but if you love basketball, I think people are going to love this series.
And that's the thing that I keep hearing from everybody, Eddie, is, the ratings are going to be awful. These 2 smaller markets. It's the 2 teams with the most amount of wins from January on. One is number 1 in defense. One is number 1 in offense. I mean, this is a great NBA Finals if you're into ball.
All those idiots who say that, where were they when the AFC Championship game was Buffalo versus Kansas City? Were they upset that it wasn't, the LA Chargers and the New York Jets?
That's such a good point.
Kansas City and Buffalo. I mean, I think, and again, I get it. Buffalo and Kansas City, that they've been good for a while. They're more well known nationally. But I mean, you had to start somewhere. Nobody knew who Patrick Mahomes was his rookie year. Nobody knew that Buffalo and Josh Allen were going to turn into Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills. I mean, it takes some time, but let's not get crazy about the size of the markets. And again, I'm reading from people who cover the NBA, who cover sports TV, and they're like, this could be a terrible series because of the markets. When the hell did a market size decide whether you're good or not? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. Last time I checked, Peyton Manning played in a small market, Eddie, and he was on every single commercial, hosted Saturday Night Live. It didn't seem to be a big problem.
Exactly. I don't think Matt Sanchez or Mark Sanchez, whatever the hell his name was, when he was a quarterback of the Jets, did he host Saturday Night Live? I don't think
not.
So.
He had the famous butt fumble, though. That's
that
what
he did.
That's what he's known for. They're in New York City, the number 1 market. Sure.
Eddie White with us, host of the world's greatest post-game show. Game 1 is this Thursday night. Eddie, throw back here a little bit. I was thinking about this over the weekend. I wish Slick were here for this because he would have loved this team. He would have loved some of these moments. Could you imagine Slick's reaction to some of these Halliburton moments we've seen in the postseason?
Oh, he would have been calling them, old Hallie, get it in, old Hallie, and old Obi. Some of them are already built in. Obi, he always has that I-E or Y to somebody's name. Travis Spence was Travie. Austin Crozier was Austy. I mean, it's going to be great with Hallie. Now, I don't know what the hell he would have done with Pascal. That would have been, he wasn't good with names. Paskey, get it in to Paskey, Mark. They got to get the ball. Paskey's hitting it from, got to take the 2-point, got to take the 2-shooter, get it into Paskey. But, the other night we thought of him and, David Benner and Jim Morris and some of these people who were so ingrained into our franchise. What a moment they would have enjoyed. And, this thing doesn't happen all the time. I mean, it was 25 years ago. I was a Puma then. We were the old logo, 7 logo athletic. Name changes like Zsa Gabor. And I found the hat and the T-shirt that we gave out when they won the Eastern Conference with the Puma logo on it. And I found the big flag that had, Eastern Conference champs 2000, Indiana Pacers. And, you cannot take these moments for granted. I mean, hell, the Colts went to 2 Super Bowls, won 1. And, here we are in our second finals in 25 years. And, I just hope that, the atmosphere that we're going to face in 1 and 2 is either number 1 or number 2 in the league as far as toughness. I mean, meaning fans being in it. They got these clappers, which I can't believe they're legal, and their fans are in the stands an hour before the game starts because there's nothing to do with the whole state of Oklahoma. So I hope Game 3 and 4, arguably the first or second toughest place to play here, that our fans bring it. And, I thought we did in Game 4. I knew 3 would be crazy because it was the day of the race. Everybody was just exhausted. But this is a tough place to play, and if we could somehow get a split in those first 2. I know we were greedy in a couple of our series where we won the first 2. Let's just take a split, then come home, win 2, and then maybe you lose Game 5 there, and then come home and do it again, a Game 6 that we don't lose Game 6s. And can you imagine if we win the World's Championship in Indianapolis, Game 6? I mean, it would be – and then the parade, I think, would be the greatest parade we've ever had in Indianapolis.
Eddie White, host of the world's greatest post-game show with the Indiana Pacers. My man, we appreciate you taking the time to join us today, and can't wait for Thursday, brother.
Cannot wait. Love you guys. Be good.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Indianapolis to see the full line of Kubota or visit McAllisterKubota.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 61,995, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers going on now. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
As a caregiver, managing your loved one's health can at times be overwhelming. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I'll share 3 tips to help you manage your loved one's medical care effectively.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Tip number 1, keep a list of all medications, dosages, and schedules to ensure your loved one is taking their medication correctly. Second, attend doctor's appointments with your loved one when you're able. And finally, stay organized by keeping forms, notes, and other important documents in one secure place. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
The financial advisor industry is a flawed system. Find out how to fight back and protect your retirement on Expedition Retirement. Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
Trust employee owned. B Windows extending our employee discount to you. Up to 55% off, plus 18 months, no interest, no payments. Trust your home to be.
Big stories locally, big moves in Washington. WIBC.com keeps you updated throughout the day with all the news that matters, plus traffic, weather, and more on your phone, your laptop, wherever you are. It's news when you need it.
All right, Alan Green, what's going on with these streets?
Well, we have a closure on 65 northbound between State Road 47 and the Lebanon Rest area. 65 southbound at Edgewood, there's a crash blocking the left lane. Traffic is backed up there. 70 westbound slows from Emerson to the North Split from an accident that just cleared. And on 69 northbound before 67, a crash there has just been picked up. This report brought to you by B-Window. Right now, B-Window is extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee-owned, trust your home to BeWindow.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
81 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Coming up a little bit after 5 o'clock, someone on the City County Council is calling for Joe Hogsett to step down. Might surprise you. We'll talk about that. Jim Irsay laid to rest today. We've got updates on all of that. But first, Nigel, you were telling me before the show started, you may or may not have fallen asleep on your porch this weekend.
Yeah, single-handedly bringing down the property values of my entire neighborhood by being a redneck and falling asleep on my front porch patio with the
Please tell me
furniture.
you were shirtless.
I was not.
God, tell me you were shirtless.
We did the travel softball thing, sat in the sun all day, got home at about 4 o'clock, some nice shade there in the front patio, and I just sat down there and I was just looking at my phone, listening to some music, and the next thing you know, it's an hour later. There's people running by. You know, we have joggers and dog walkers.
This is an affluent neighborhood. Like, former NFL players live in your neighborhood, and here's some hillbilly asleep on his front porch, snoring really loud.
I mean, really snoring. I mean, it was really, because my wife sat down with me. We were going to sit down and just, she was going to order groceries on her phone, and I was going to have a sip, have something. But the next thing, and like I woke up and I was by myself, like out there on the front patio.
Drool on your shirt.
Lindsay got up and left. My kids were inside, and that's pretty redneckish. I mean, it wasn't like it was on the back deck where nobody could see me.
Right.
It was pretty visible out in the open.
Allison, anywhere odd you've ever fallen asleep? I'm not talking about getting drunk and passing out and waking up not knowing where you're at.
Oh, she has tons of those stories.
She's got tons of those. But you ever fallen asleep in an odd place?
I was trying to think. When I was at camp in middle school, it was an overnight summer camp. I had an allergic reaction to something, and the nurse gave me Benadryl.
Uh-oh.
Didn't know it was Benadryl, and I found out around lunchtime at the cafeteria. We were all sitting around eating, and next thing I know, I woke up, and the cafeteria was empty, and my tray was still in front of me.
Nobody.
You just passed out at the cafeteria?
Yeah, Benadryl, yeah.
But nobody woke you up? None of the counselors were like...
They probably were like, she clearly needs it. Or they tried to wake me up. Who knows?
Just leave her.
She'll be fine.
Was the food still on your tray?
It was.
Like, nobody, if she's not going to eat that pizza, I'm going to sneak over here.
She'll eat it when she wakes up. Little midnight
your
snack.
Your face
for her.
was it like the mashed potatoes weren't your pillow, were they?
No. I had a big mark on my forehead from where I was laying my head on the table.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Like, you must have been out cold.
Oh, I was.
Like, to hear all the people in a cafeteria, I'm sure bells probably rang.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing.
Yep. It was a good time. Benadryl will hit you hard.
It does. It goes hard in the paint. All right. When we come back, we will, again, get you up to date on the ridiculous Joe Hogsett investigation. Put that in air quotes, investigation. But at least somebody that's got a sack is calling for him to resign. We'll talk about it next.
We're from Indiana. We know all about hard work, loyalty, and pragmatism in money management. These values are at the foundation of Trajan Wealth. Locally owned and veteran-led. Matt Bear here. Hey, Trajan Wealth will collaborate with you, get to know you, and help you into an investment portfolio that's tailored to your visions of the future. Your first consultation is free. Call to schedule at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth is different from their competitors, focusing on low expenses, manager tenure, and tax efficiency. Their fiduciary advisors get to know you, and your individual portfolio is custom tailored toward your goals and timeline. One size does not fit all. Call and schedule your first appointment at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first consultation is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on OpenSignal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Is your well water pressure low? Tasting a little off? A neglected well can lead to costly repairs, but C&J, the official water treatment sponsors of the Pacers and Fever, has you covered with their well cleanout service and 6-point inspection. It's the lowest price of the year, and C&J will even throw in a free well cap to keep out the critters and crud from messing up your well. Your family deserves the purest, safest water straight from your own well. Schedule your well cleanout with C&J. Great systems and great people, too. 317-852-WELL.
Talking on the phone is difficult if you've been exposed to loud noises over time. Combat veterans, factory workers, farmers, gun and motorcycle enthusiasts can have trouble hearing on the telephone. Relay Indiana helps return clarity to your phone conversations. A free service providing telecom accessibility, Relay Indiana allows hard of hearing users to have normal phone conversations through specially trained relay operators. Relay Indiana also provides free loaned equipment to those who qualify. Get the captioned telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 6195, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers going on now. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tamara and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News. 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
They're vowing justice in Boulder. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. After yesterday's fiery attack on pro-Israel demonstrators in Colorado, the suspect, Mohammed Solomon, is charged with a federal hate crime.
And when he was interviewed about the attack, he said he wanted them all to die. He had no regrets, and he would go back and do it again.
Acting U.S. Attorney Jay Bishop Gruel moments ago on the federal complaint filed today.
But what the charges allege that he did was to throw Molotov cocktails at a group of men and women, some of them in their late 80s, burning them as they peacefully walked on a Sunday to draw attention to Israeli hostages held in Gaza.
Solomon also facing multiple state counts, including attempted murder. Officials also just confirming additional victims, now 12 injured in all. President Trump blaming the attack on his predecessor's border policies. Sources say the suspect is from Egypt and overstayed a visa in 2023. The Trump administration will send House lawmakers a request to cancel some spending already approved, aimed at codifying cuts from the Department of Government Efficiency.
The first round is about $9 billion in cuts to USAID, NPR, and PBS. Congressman Mark Alford expects it to pass, but says some might be on the fence.
I think everyone is looking forward to making more cuts on the Republican side. There are maybe a few people in more moderate districts who still see a need for PBS and NPR.
Critics argue USAID provides life-saving services overseas, and NPR and PBS are vital tools in informing the public.
Fox's Ryan Schmel. Some Senate Republicans also demanding more spending cuts as they take up the House-passed bill that would advance the president's agenda. America is listening to Fox News.
Attention men. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The public service has yet to be announced. 79 on the circle in downtown Indianapolis with nothing on radar. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Friends and family remembered Colts owner Jim Irsay during a private service today at St. Luke's United Methodist Church in Indy. The service today was private.
But the family says that there is still a way that you can pay respects as well. They're asking people to give donations to Kicking the Stigma, the Colts mental health initiative. It's a it's a cause that Jim Irsay championed along with many others as he continued his philanthropic efforts here in the Circle City and across the country.
Wish TV's Hernan Gutierrez. An arrest in the death of a man whose body was found at an Indianapolis Planet Fitness in November of 2024. John Herrick with the story.
Derek Sink is the man who was found dead in the Planet Fitness. The Marion County coroner ruled his cause of death to be a narcotics overdose.
After the coroner's office was able to determine that it was an overdose of what Mr. Sink died from, our detectives went to work and they were able to determine who he purchased the narcotics from.
IMPD Lieutenant Justin Goff says that person was Heather Bradford, and she was arrested on Friday at a gas station in Mooresville on several charges. Goff says this case involved a lot of cross-agency coordination, gathering of evidence, and a deep commitment to seeking justice.
A second call for the mayor of Indianapolis to resign. City County Councilor Andrew Nielsen says Joe Hogsett should give it up because he says Thomas Cook was kept there in the administration for too long, even after the administration determined he had had an inappropriate relationship with a subordinate. Indiana gas fell a nickel over the weekend. The average price for a gallon of regular now, according to Gas Buddy, is $3.06. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Wheat Grow Hair Indy. You know, guys who are on top of their game choose Wheat Grow Hair Indy. People like Rajiv Ram, two-time Olympic medal winner. Go to WeGrowHairIndy.com and you'll see who these champions are. Top radio personalities, coaches, former NFL players. They know We Grow Hair Indy had the technology and results to grow their hair back. I chose We Grow Hair Indy because I wanted to get my confidence back. And every time I look in the mirror, I'm so glad I made the choice to go to We Grow Hair Indy. And you can get your confidence back. It's so simple. Head over to WeGrowHairIndy.com today. Or call 317-522-2995. 317-522-2995. Schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation consultation, and you could be getting your confidence back. Be on top of your game and look like a champion. Call We Grow Hair Indy today. 317-522-2995.
Now traffic on 93 WIBC.
65 northbound remains shut down from State Road 47 to the Lebanon Rest area because of a crash. 465 southbound jams up between 70 and Shadeland. 65 northbound past 465 to 70. Traffic road down to 2 lanes, and on top of it, there's a stall on the left shoulder of Keystone, so a big backup there. 65 southbound at Edgewood, an accident blocking the left lane. Traffic jams all the way back from the south split. This report brought to you by Payday. Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is one hard-working candy bar, so grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're partly cloudy and dry for a Monday night with lows in the upper 50s. Tuesday could challenge our warmest day of 2025 with highs in the upper 80s under partly cloudy skies and breezy winds. Also a little bit more humidity as well. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are
weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Colts owner Jim Irsay laid to rest today. Private ceremony, family and friends held at St. Luke's United Methodist Church in Indianapolis. It was open to family and close friends only. The Colts announced that a public tribute would be announced at a later date.
I was looking at a photo someone sent me of the program for today's service, and Edgerrin James was one of the speakers, speaking highly of Mr. Irsay. Tony Dungy delivered a blessing at one point. John Mellencamp performed a couple of songs. Yeah. Irsay and Mellencamp were buddies. And that was what was listed on the program.
I'm looking at, we know Russ McQuaid from Fox 59. And while we sometimes give him a hard time because he and our friend Guy Relford go at it about 2A issues, he's an interesting reporter, longtime grizzled reporter. He was saying that ex-Colts Adam Vinatieri and Pat McAfee was there. Blues rocker Kenny Wayne Shepherd and his band was there. Former Colts Bruce Arians in attendance. Indiana governor, former governor Eric Holcomb, current Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett. Business associates, including Irsay's attorney Jim Voiles, was there. So, yeah, there were a lot of people there, and I think his grandsons were all pallbearers, grandchildren.
And this was, I think, the event that McAfee was kind of alluding to when he was feuding with Mellencamp about the Pacers thing last week. We're both going to be at an event coming up. I know who you are. You know, you act like you don't know who I am.
Oh, wow. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because McAfee left his show early to go to this event.
Right.
To go to the funeral. And that's what he was talking about?
I think so.
Wow.
And look, this is not the place for you guys to, have your beef about, a hype up message.
It's still interesting.
But yeah. And listen, when they do have this public thing for Jim Irsay, I have a feeling it's going to be like a big deal with a lot of music, right? I don't know. I have no inside info. I have no idea what's being planned, but you just feel like there's going to be some pretty big musicians involved.
I just say something else about Russ McQuaid. I was just reading off his Facebook page, Fox 59 and is it CBS and Fox 59?
CBS 4, Fox 59.
So after the Pacers closed out the Eastern Conference Finals, I was flipping around. I wanted to watch local news coverage of the, just the city going wild. And I think of Russ McQuaid as like a grizzled crime reporter that covers the hard-hitting,
wearing a trench coat and a big hat.
Fedora. And he was like right in the middle of all these crazy fans. And the anchors cut to him. And I don't think the fans weren't like, they were wild, they were crazy, I didn't hear any cuss words or anything, but it took him 10 seconds and he was like, all right, back to you at the studio. They cut to him. Let's go to Russ McQuaid. Yeah, we're out here. There's a lot of fans. And just people were going nuts. All right, back to you in the studio.
Let's go live to Russ McQuaid, who's clearly tired of people's crap, Russ.
That's the way I interpreted it anyway. So there you go.
We now have a second Indianapolis City County Councilor to call for Mayor Joe Hogsett to resign as a result of this sexual harassment investigation. And both are Democrats, Nige. So the first one is Jesse Brown, the socialist on the council. Look, we've had him on the show before, and he laid everything out. And to his credit, we might not agree on a lot of things, but we agree on this. He said Joe Hogsett absolutely knew what was going on, needs to be held accountable. He called for him to resign a long time ago. Now, another Democrat, Andy Nielsen, Democrat on your city county council, is calling for Joe Hogsett to resign as a result of information in this investigation, which, by the way, is a complete load of crap. Nobody is going to be held accountable for these women being treated the way they were in the office. Nobody's going to be held accountable based on this investigation, and that's a load of crap. But where are the Republicans? I believe there are 6, maybe I'm wrong, somebody can correct me, 6 Republicans on the city county council. Why does it take 2 Democrats to step forward and say, resign, Joe, this is inappropriate, this is not who we are? The 6 Republicans are in the corner just, scared to death. Why is it the Democrats? Why are the Democrats leading on this?
Because I think people on both sides might have skeletons in the closet that they want quiet.
And that's ridiculous.
So you know what? This is over with. The investigation is done. This guy, this Democrat that you were talking about that was calling for
Andy Nielsen
resignation, says like, yeah, look, Thomas Carl Cook still played a part in this guy's administration even after these allegations had been brought forth. Like, what are we doing here?
Right. That was not addressed in the report that came from the independent law group.
Yeah,
why did Hogsett bring him back?
For the campaign, yeah. So I get it. I get the call, but you're right. Where are the Republicans? Every one of them.
Right, gutless.
Every one of them should be calling for the resignation.
Now, I'm off next Monday, so Nige, you'll be here. That's our monthly visit with the minority leader of the City County Council, and he's going to be in person. Ask this question for me. Yeah. Like, say, hey, why does it have to be the Democrats going out publicly saying this is not okay? Where the hell are you guys at here? Because if you have said it, you certainly haven't gone to the right media outlets. Because this guy does it. I've seen it on Wish TV. I see it on the IBJ. I see it everywhere. And I get media usually covers Democrats locally better than Republicans. I get that. Trust me, I'm in the media. But if you 6 Republicans bond together and you work with Jesse and Andy on the other side of the aisle, you guys look bipartisan, you raise enough hell, maybe, just maybe, 1/3 of the council saying our mayor is crooked can shake things up just a little bit, can bring more conversations to the table.
But again, what did I just say? There's plenty of other people on that council with skeletons in their closet that, may or may not be, they could be compromised if they started mouthing off.
Right.
That's speculation, but it's politics.
And Vop Osley and all you other Democrats, explain to us why you're okay with Joe Hogsett bringing back Thomas Carl Cook to work on the campaign. After the allegations took place, why are you okay with him bringing him back? Because the report didn't clear Thomas Carl Cook. The report simply said that Hogsett in the mayor's office did the bare minimum necessary to address the allegations. It wasn't like it vindicated Thomas Carl Cook. That's not the case at all. So you owe us all an answer. Why, on God's green earth, are you okay with your boss, old Diamond Joe, Boss Hogsett, bringing back this guy that had these allegations? Was he that scared he might lose the election? Because let's be honest, it's Marion County. He probably wasn't going to lose the election. I mean, the Democrats could put a bag of sand up as the candidate, and they're probably going to win in Marion County. Yeah. They owe us some answers. And the Republicans, you guys need to be more vocal. You guys are embarrassing yourselves right now. This is horse crap. I'm sorry. I'm rooting for you guys, but this is horse crap. I feel like, I'm watching the Colts right now. I'm rooting for you guys, but you're making it hard.
Don't apologize. Yeah, there's nothing to be sorry about.
Alan Green, he's standing by with a look at the roads.
Hey guys, on 465, make it 65 northbound at Keystone, there is a stall on the left shoulder, and that's causing a backup together with all the construction that's already going on there. 65 southbound at Edgewood, an accident is the left lane block, traffic backed up from 465. 70 westbound heavy between Emerson and 65. And on 65 northbound, traffic is still shut down between State Road 47 and the Lebanon Rest area due to a crash. This report's brought to you by Payday. Packed with peanuts and filled with golden caramel, Payday is one hard-working candy bar. So grab one now to power you through the day. Payday Peanut Caramel Bar. Get to it. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Couple things here. Number one, check out our Twitter feed at Hammer and Nigel. I just retweeted Rob Kendall. Rob has been teasing a local state senator that was allegedly busted for drinking and driving. And due to policy in Indiana, he was immune from being held to justice, basically.
Well, I don't get that.
Governmental immunity or some crap like that. You can't arrest a state politician during session. You have to file the charges afterwards. So Rob found out about this, and he's posted it now. I just retweeted it at Hammer and Nigel. I'm sure he's going to have a lot more of this on his show tomorrow, but this is the kind of crap that these people are trying to keep from you guys. You're looking at it right now, Nigel.
It says this. What's his name? Bohasek?
Bosek? I don't know.
Bohasek had like a 0.283 blood alcohol content.
3.5 times the legal limit.
God, man.
Got busted up in Michigan City.
And he's been driving around since January. And like if you and I, if a 0.08, that's even, I think the law here, even if it's below a 0.08 and we get pulled over, it's like 0.07 or something. It's at the officer's discretion as to whether or not you could still go to jail if he thinks you're sick. Like, we'd be all over the front page of the Indy Star.
Adam Wren would have us on the cover of Politico.
Yeah.
Like, he'd have his pants off. He'd be so happy. But here's a lawmaker, and again, I believe it's a Republican, Senator Mike Bohasek, and according to the documents uncovered by Rob, and again, he's going to have more on this tomorrow, this dude was 3.5 times the legal limit driving around.
0.283. God bless America.
And had Rob not been tipped off about this and did the physical work to investigate this, how many people would have known about it? How many people know there's some sort of government immunity during a session?
So the bigger picture, so the DUI is not the story. That's bad enough. That's bad in and of itself. You need help. You need to get that under control. The story is that nobody knew about it. A state representative.
Right.
that is not really had any repercussions as of yet.
Again, when people say Indiana has the worst group of Republican legislators, I used to say, oh, that's a little bit over the top. That's a little hyperbole. But you look at the corruption in Chicago, you look at what they do in Seattle, places like Boulder. I know they're very liberal, but so is Indianapolis. But man, the quote-unquote Republicans that are here are just as bad, if not worse. It's ridiculous. So, again, great work by Rob. He's going to have that story tomorrow. If you want to read the report, I just retweeted it at Hammer and Nigel. Also, hit us up on the YouTube live stream. Right now, we're at 63 thumbs up. We got to get that to 100. So we need, 37 more people. 37 more people to go to WIBC's YouTube and just give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. If you don't give us a thumbs up, the Pacers are going to lose on Thursday. I'm just saying, you don't want that to be on your conscience. This can't be your fault. So go to WIBC, the YouTube cameras, the live chat, get in the mix, watch the show, give us a thumbs up, help us get to 100. It's 81 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
American Standard Heating and Air. They are truly built to a higher standard. I know this. I have American Standard equipment installed in my house. I use only local independent American Standard dealers. Here's Hammer to tell you about one.
Check out our good friends at Price Point Comfort. Price Point Comfort, locally owned American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer that will give you the right price guarantee. They promise not to oversell you or pressure you into buying a bunch of stuff that you didn't ask for. While some of the other companies do that, Price Point Comfort, they strive for customer satisfaction. PricePointComfort.com. Log on right now. Check it out. PricePointComfort.com or call 317-455-1124. James and Tyler should answer your call. James or Tyler, make sure you tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. Price Point Comfort is your independent American Standard dealer built to a higher standard.
The Voice of Health Minute with Dr. Robert Prather of Holistic Integration.
Probably the most dramatic one, a 4-year-old boy who was covered from head to toe in eczema. They had to actually put mitts on his hands so he wouldn't scratch.
Oh,
And he had had that since birth. And they had done all these different types of treatments. Nothing was really working. You know, the mother was frantic and had heard about me, decided to come. We took a look at him. We did the diagnostics. We did a stool sample. and found out that he had parasites, which they had never tested for that.
Right.
And I said, now, we're going to have to kill these parasites, and he's going to get worse before he gets better because the toxins of the parasites were going to be released. And so I said, hang with me. But in 6 months, we had him absolutely clear, and he never got eczema again.
The Voice of Health with Dr. Robert Prather, Sundays at 8 p.m. or anytime at thevoiceofhealthradio.com.
Attention men! Coastline Products is looking for 100 men to try our powerful new topical formula for male enhancement. So far, the feedback has been amazing. With Knox 47, it's male performance on demand that works in 47 seconds or less, satisfaction guaranteed. For the first 100 men, we're giving away a free bottle, totally discreet. Just looking for feedback. Call now to get your free bottle.
Call 800-417-0390. That's 800-417-0390. 800-417-0390.
Again, Coastline Products is looking for 100 men to try our powerful new topical formula for male enhancement. So far, the feedback has been amazing. With Knox 47, it's male performance on demand that works in 47 seconds or less, satisfaction guaranteed. For the first 100 men, we're giving away a free bottle, totally discreet. Just looking for feedback. Call now to get your free bottle.
Call 800-417-0390. That's 800-417-0390. 800-417-0390.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions, Indiana. We're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Tamara and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel Show.
A flight attendant on British Airways was arrested. This is a flight attendant. They were employed. They were working. They got arrested on British Airways after dancing naked in the bathroom during the flight. Actually, we have some exclusive audio from that flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Just a quick reminder that our flight crew is here for your safety, not naked interpretive dance in the loo. If you happen to see one of our flight attendants tripping balls and flailing with tatas akimbo, thinking she's auditioning for So You Think You Can Dance, please remain seated and notify the rest of the crew. We appreciate your understanding as we keep things flying high and fully clothed here at British Airways.
The pilot from that audio had one part of that wrong. It was a dude.
Oh.
Flight attendant.
Come on.
Dancing naked. Are you okay with this?
No, not at all. There's a difference between, hey, one of the sexy stews is in there dancing naked. All right, we got a ball game. Just some dude's in there, and he's got his beanbag all flopping around, doing an interpretive dance. There's a big difference there, and I'm not okay with that. Not at all.
Well, he was on drugs, is what they were saying.
Oh, you don't say. You don't say, Nige.
Trying to give a little context as to what was going on.
And I'm reading up a little bit more here. This was like a 10-hour flight. So this was a long flight. They had to get this dude some special pajamas that they had, like in the first class section, make him wear these and put him like in the first class area because that's where they had some extra room and seats. Imagine paying big bucks to sit in first class, right? You're the premier group on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
And here comes the naked guy that's whacked out of his mind, tripping balls.
Working for the airline.
Right. And he's in your section now. He's not in the back. He's in your section now. Nope.
Are you okay with this? For some, the school year is over. For others, it's about to end. For this Florida mom, hey, it was over a little sooner than the actual school year. Listen to what she just posted.
Do you make your kid go to school the last day of school? Do you make your kid go to school the last week of school? I don't make my kids go to school the last couple days of school. I don't see the point. Most of the teachers would rather you keep your kids home anyway, at least around here. My parents, they made us go to school every single day, all the way to the very last day of school every year. I have cleaned a lot of desks. That is what we did the last week of school when I was a kid. So what was the point of sending me to school on the last few days of school? But I'm not doing that with my kids. Stay home, baby. It's summertime. Time to go.
Oh, dear God. Are you okay with this, Florida mom?
100%. I'm all in on this. I think this is fine. Now, it depends on the grades of the student. If your student has not done the work all year and they're a D student, if they're barely getting passing grades, you need to be in that classroom every single day. But like with our kids, you know, again, I'm very blessed. I got smart kids. My kids take after their mom. They've always had honor roll grades. And she's right. The final week of school is a nothing burger. It's absolutely nothing. So if they've got all their passing marks, if they've got all A's and B's, I'm not mad that you miss a day or two of desk clean out or watching some movie you've seen a million times.
I always had fun the last day of school. I didn't mind it. I loved it. My parents made me go. They're not going to call in sick for me, especially the last day or the last week.
Right.
But it was also kind of a joke as well. Especially after finals were over.
And I get that. And I was kind of like you, too. I was a social butterfly. But like my youngest, Jacob, he's not like that at all. He's a little bit more introverted. So if given the opportunity of staying home or going to school and feeling awkward around a bunch of people, he would rather stay home. As long as his grades are good, man, I do not care. That's the bottom line.
Is there a better term than social butterfly when you're a dude and you're referring to yourself as that? Could you have said I'm a social hornet?
Beach Grove, we were. Hi-oh! Hi-oh!
That's what I was going for.
Coming up next, if you missed our big announcement, something we're doing Thursday, we will reset that. Plus, Bill Maher, just put on the MAGA hat at this point. It'll feel good. Just put it on. Do yourself a favor. Come out of the closet and put the MAGA hat on. That story next.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
An overdose, an arrest, and a lengthy investigation. No rain now, no rain expected until Wednesday on Monument Circle. It's now 81 degrees. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. John Herrick reports on what happened after a man's body was found at an Indianapolis Planet Fitness last year.
Dustin Sink's body was found in a room at the Planet Fitness on Hardigan Street in November of last year, and he had died from a narcotics overdose. IMPD Lieutenant Justin Goff says Sink got the narcotics from a woman named Heather Bradford.
At this point, we know the exchange happened somewhere in the vicinity. We're not sure if it was inside the building or outside the building.
Bradford was arrested at a Mooresville gas station on Friday, and her arrest was announced on Monday. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Still little chance for an end to the Russia-Ukraine war, despite the talks in Turkey. Greg Palcott reports.
While talks go on in an attempt to end the war itself rages on in new and unprecedented ways. Over the weekend, Ukraine launching drones targeting military air bases across Russia. Over 40 bombers claimed to have been hit. That would basically be a third of Moscow's long-range fleet. That's a huge toll. Unprecedented also, according to Kyiv, because most of the drones were smuggled into Russia, then fired from trucks near the bases, adding to the surprise of the attack. In addition, 2 key bridges in Russia were also knocked out, leaving trains derailed, casualties, and destruction.
The FBI says the firebombing of a group of people in Colorado was a hate crime targeting Jews. The suspect is in custody, appearing in court today. Reactions are pouring in, with Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, telling Fox not enough is being done to combat anti-Semitism in America.
We appreciate the words, the statements, the declarations,
But now it's time for action.
It's the latest anti-Semitic attack in the U.S. in recent weeks after a man shot 2 Israeli diplomats in D.C. point blank. Authorities say the Colorado suspect, 45-year-old Mohammed Solomon, was in the U.S. illegally. The FBI is investigating the crime as an act of terrorism. Now traffic on 93 WIBC.
On 65 northbound near the Lebanon rest area, an earlier accident that had the roadway shut down has now cleared. 65 northbound backs up between Southport and 465. And 65 northbound, we got a couple other problems there too. Just past 465 on the south side, an accident on the left, and near Keystone, an accident. And together with all the construction, that's really causing a big backup. 70 westbound slows from Emerson to the North Split. 465 eastbound is tight from the Dogleg to Meridian. This report brought to you by B Window. Right now, B Window's extending their employee discount to you. Get 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee owned. Trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
We're partly cloudy and dry for a Monday night with lows in the upper 50s. Tuesday could challenge our warmest day of 2025 with highs in the upper 80s under partly cloudy skies and breezy winds. Also a little bit more humidity as well. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Oh, man. Hammer and I are going back to Hammer's old stomping grounds this Thursday. A viewing party of sorts, if you would call it. Hammer, what is going on this Thursday? What are we doing? Why are we going there? What is happening?
We're going there because it's going to be incredibly fun. And we're broadcasting the entire show starting at 3 o'clock from the Caesars Sportsbook inside the big casino in Shelbyville, Horseshoe Casino, Indianapolis, in Shelbyville.
Used to run marketing and promotions there, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then they fired me, which is fine.
Thanks to Obama.
And, man, we're going to have a great time there. We're going to get you ready for Game 1 of the NBA Finals, the Caesar Sportsbook. Your place to watch the NBA Finals, and they're going to have so many different things you can bet on. And Shelbyville, we're looking at you. Last time we came to town, you showed up and you showed out. We want to see that again. So get there early. Get one of those big, comfortable, seats in the sports book. Put your big, fat rear end in there. Grab some drinks and hang out with the Hammer and Nigel show. Yeah. We're going to be betting. We're going to be talking. We're going to be doing the show. And then we're going to be watching the Pacers after our show ends. This is going to be a fun night, man.
Our show will end, but the game doesn't start for another hour and a half. So that means I will be sitting at video poker for most of the time, and even most of the game, actually. That is my idea of a good time, and I haven't done that for a long time, sitting at the video poker machine while the game's on the big screen and having them deliver me drinks. That is... I'll either sleep in my car or I don't know what I'll do. Maybe Race and Rachel will let me sleep in one of those horse stalls.
Right.
In the stable, you know.
Right. You're going to be like Smokey and Friday. You're going to be in Debo's chicken coop before the end of the night. I'm looking for a wingman and blackjack, right? I need somebody that knows what they're doing.
Oh.
We're going to get this table. We're going to have a bunch of Hammer and Nigel listeners take over a table. And let's do this. We're going to head over to the Caesar Sportsbook. We're going to make some bets on this Pacers game, the whole series. I told Rob earlier, I'm giving a free bet out right now. One of the bets you can make, Caesar Sportsbook, is how many games will the series go? I'm at over 5.5, and you get plus money on that. So if the Pacers can make this at least a 6-game series, because all the experts are saying OKC is going to blow them out.
Yeah.
If you think the Pacers can win at least 2 games, or hell, maybe just Oklahoma City can win 2 games, then your toes are tapping plus money. You double your money. So that's one bet I'm making.
Free bet.
And we'll have a lot more on Thursday. Please come out and join us. Drinks, food, gambling, debauchery, and a viewing party for the NBA Finals. Nige, HBO host Bill Maher backing President Donald Trump's intense scrutiny on Harvard. Now, do you really believe, after the last 3 or 4 years where Bill Maher has kind of been distancing himself away from the lunatic side of the left, are we this close to him putting on a MAGA hat?
We're nowhere close to him putting on a MAGA hat, but he will tell you that the Democratic Party has changed. He has not. He's old school Dem. The party has changed. He's stayed the same, and he's not going to apologize for going to have dinner with Donald Trump. He had, Kid Rock, I believe, brokered that meeting. I'm still not sure why Donald Trump would want to have dinner with Bill Maher, whatever. But it was funny because Bill Maher printed out like 160 different insults that Donald Trump had said about him, and Trump signed it.
He autographed it.
Yeah, maybe I'm off on the number of insults. Maybe it was more, maybe it was less. But I don't know if I'm ready. No, you're never going to see a MAGA hat on Bill Maher. But he's relevant because he's a high-profile Democrat who's criticized Trump for years on his show, had a huge platform, still does, but yet is now saying the Democrats are making big mistakes.
Do you think he helped create this monster, though? And that's one argument that I've thought about in the past. Because here's Bill Maher saying, the party left me. Well, dudes like you and your platform, you helped create this never Trump, anti-Trump.
And then he just kind of realized what a mistake that was.
Right.
A little bit before everybody else did.
Like, you don't get to create the monster, then say, oh, by the way, the monster's mean and scary. Well, Dr. Frankenstein, you kind of had a hand in this thing. Here's Bill Maher this past weekend talking about Harvard.
If ignorance is a disease, Harvard Yard is the Wuhan wet market. But the reason why despising Israel became pretty much a requirement of the American left is colleges, elite colleges, the mouth of the river from which this and all manner of radical left, illiberal nonsense flows. And chasing speakers off of campus? When the First Amendment watchdog group Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression began ranking colleges based on their commitment to free speech and inquiry, Harvard came in dead last. There's only one set of acceptable opinions on campus, and it's policed hard.
Yeah.
Elite schools should no longer be called elite. Just say expensive. There's a special magic that links Harvard types and being utterly face-punchable. They all came out of an asshole factory.
They all came out of an a-hole factory. That's Bill Maher on Harvard grads.
How do you get into that line of work in that industry? Hey, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm in the a-hole factory business.
And we're pumping them out left and right now. You should see some of these kids. We've been working overtime, actually. Hopefully Trump can get that tax taken off of the overtime pretty damn soon. Speaking of Donald Trump, his good buddy, Representative Jasmine Crockett, she says that...
She's out of Texas, right?
Oh, yeah. She's the Temu Cardi B now. She's decided to reinvent herself as this Cardi B-like flamethrower. Now, if you look at old interviews of Jasmine Crockett, she's a regular politician coming up through the ranks in Texas. But she realized she could get clips by going full ratchet, right? So that's what she's done. She's a total fraud.
Full ratchet?
Ratchet.
I don't know
what
that means.
She's now saying that if the Democrats win the midterms in the House in 2026.
And they think they can.
And if it becomes House Speaker Hakeem Jeffries, the first thing she's going to do is call for impeachment of Donald Trump. It's the same old song and dance, Nige. Rinse, lather, repeat. It's impeachment on the horizon for Trump if the Dems win the midterms.
Okay, good luck. I mean, whatever. It's not going to get past. It might get past the House, won't get past the Senate.
Right.
And
it's a second term.
Yeah, exactly. And I just, what a complete waste of time. Instead of working on the things they're passionate about, they're concentrating on their Trump derangement. syndrome.
Right.
What should the Democrats be concentrating on versus what they are screaming and yelling about are two different things.
And look, you could say that about the Republicans too, because you know how critical I am of the group led by Comer. Like, they're really good at having hearings and passing out subpoenas like they're a car dealer in Vegas, but nothing ever happens. Nothing ever changes. So it's not just the Democrats, it's Republicans too. But yeah, going through the whole impeachment song and dance, it didn't work for you guys the last time. I don't know. Maybe you guys think it did, because Trump didn't win in 2020, but some people feel like there were some creative jelly bean counting, because where did these 6 to 8 million votes go from 2020 to 2024? Serious question. Not trying to be Alex Jones, not trying to be tinfoil hat guy here. If 2024 was the biggest election of our lifetimes, where were 6 million votes at the minimum that voted in 2020 that did not vote in 2024? Did that many people just decide, you know what, Trump's all right? I think I like that guy. All that talk about Russian hookers and PP tapes, you know what, I've done a 180. I don't think that's the case. So fair questions exist. We talked about something that was on HBO Max last week, and I watched it this weekend. The Paul Rubens Pee Wee Herman documentary. So I watched it. There are 2 episodes in this.
You saw that?
Yeah. 2 episodes. Each one's about 90 minutes, so they're kind of long. It's a 2-parter. And it shows you Paul Rubens' rise from like an improv comic to doing sketch work to creating different characters, to where his iconic character became almost his alter ego. Like, for a while, he was basically living as Pee Wee Herman, right? Some comedians and actors do that. Like, I've always heard when Jim Carrey is doing a role, he like becomes that character and lives it in real life. I don't think Paul Rubens went that far, but when you booked him on a talk show, you were booking Pee Wee Herman. You weren't booking Paul Rubens. He's coming on in the suit and the bow tie and the tuxedo, and man, it was pretty wild. And then it goes into his arrest in that shady theater. They tried to go after him and bust him hard. Here's the one takeaway I had, and I totally forgot about this. If you remember, there was a new district attorney in Los Angeles, and he was really trying to crack down on pedophilia and child porn. They went after Paul Rubens because they said he had some art in his house that was pornographic, featuring minors. Turns out that it wasn't. But this new district attorney was hell-bent on having a name for himself and thought it'd be low-hanging fruit to go after the guy that was arrested for popping his baloney in a theater.
Sure.
So they go after Paul Rubens, and he fights it tooth and nail. They never really found anything super dirty. I mean, he was a gay man, so he had some
gay art,
but it wasn't pedophilia, right? And that's a big-time label you put on somebody. And he had a real hard time with that. That was way harder for him than it was the movie theater incident.
But it seemed like he made a comeback, though, pretty quick. It wasn't like he was shunned for years.
After the movie theater incident, man, he was lining them up. Like, he came back at that MTV Awards show.
Yeah.
And, heard any good jokes lately? And the crowd loved it. They were hanging on every word. It was support Pee Wee. And next thing you know, he's got a cameo in the movie Blow, and he's doing Mystery Men, and he's doing other stuff outside of Pee Wee Herman. But then here comes this LA investigation where they're calling him like a pedophile, and they went after him, and that was tough for him. But it was interesting, man.
Is that on Netflix?
HBO Max.
HBO Max.
HBO Max, whatever they're calling it now. Max, HBO, HBO Max, whatever you want to call it.
I've been watching the docuseries American Manhunt Osama bin Laden, which is on Netflix, which is a 3-part series. And just when you thought you've seen everything that you could watch about 9/11, I like this just because it features first-person interviews with CIA, FBI, Department of Defense insiders, showing footage I've never seen before of George Bush in cabinet meetings, taking just, in-depth look, emotional, moral, as they describe it, complexities faced the people that were working in the CIA that were facing. It's fascinating. So it sounds like both of those, the Pee-wee, opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of content,
right,
and a subject matter,
right.
But I would recommend either one of those.
How long are the episodes on that?
Just an hour. And the Osama bin, there's 3 of them. There's only 3 of them.
Okay.
About an hour each.
Excellent. All right, something we haven't done in a while. I thought it was appropriate to roll out coming up next. It's National Moonshine Week. Moonshine Week. So,
no way.
I think it's only appropriate. We have a Moonshine Monday.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Coming up next.
Lynn just loves the summer in Indy, but she's not going to spend it painting. She called Rhino Shield.
It is a single-wide manufactured home. We moved from our home, which we had the Rhino Shield on. Rhino Shield was what we were going to do. That was no question. We knew we were going to do it.
Rhino Shield's a ceramic coating. It's not paint, it's better.
The Rhino Shield representative came, and we discussed what we wanted done. And this time, we had the roof done as well.
Now you can have the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield for 10% off the regular price.
Even the people that have been a little younger than us have said they don't have to worry about getting just an everyday painter because Rhino Shield has the 25-year warranty, and we truly believe in this product.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Window Nation, windows assembled right here in the good old U.S. of A. I have Window Nation windows. They make my house look and feel awesome. My energy prices have gone way down since the install. By the way, the installation only took a day, and they left my house more clean than it was before the install. Here's Hammer's going to tell you about a killer deal going on right now this summer.
When you buy 4 windows, you're going to get 4 for free. For 2 years, you don't have to worry about any sort of payment. No payments, no interest, no down payments, nothing. That's a big deal when you're talking about saving money in this economy. Get a free exterior door when you buy a house full of windows. Window Nation. Call right now. Set up that appointment. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Or go to windownation.com. Hurry, the sale ends soon. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
At Hendricks, our cancer care
is in the details.
When you are with us, and you have our time and you have our energy.
We have a wonderful team of highly trained oncologists, physical therapists, speech pathologists, dietitians.
Always making sure that the patient is the center of the care.
We have excellent nurse navigation that are skilled at identifying barriers to treatment,
as well as expertise from Mayo Clinic.
It is more personal care than just a number.
Visit hendricks.org/cancer.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now,
get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $105,575, Nautilus MSRP $61,995, Corsair MSRP $47,820. Offers going on now. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market, just 20 minutes north of Carmel. We're proud to bring you the freshest produce farmed right here in Indiana and across the Midwest. And don't miss our home-style fried chicken, scratch-made bakery, and a deli packed with ready-to-go favorites. Got a sweet tooth? Check out a variety of old-fashioned candies, the kind that brings back sweet memories from your childhood. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about local freshness, friendly faces, and food that feels like home. Wilson Farm Market. That's Wilson Farm Market.
Thinning hair? This year, grow your hair back like I did. Call 317-522-2995 or visit WeGrowHairIndy.com.
Stop at Speedway and grab any size Big Gulp for just 89 cents with Speedy Rewards. Summer is calling. Valid through 6/24/25. See app for full terms.
More tariffs later. Tornadoes possible.
WIBC.com gives you more than just headlines. It's context, updates, and insight. Whether you're at work, on the move, or catching up late, the latest is already there. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC.com.
Alan Green, what's up?
Hey, the southbound collector is just jam solid from the north to the south split. On the west side, 465 southbound at 71st, a crash blocking 3 right lanes, traffic backed up from 79th. 65 northbound to Keystone, accident, left lane is blocked, and traffic is solid from Southport. And 65 southbound heavy from 21st to the north split. This report brought to you by B Window. Right now, B Window is extending their employee discount to get you 55% off all products and services, plus 18 months, no interest or payments. Trust local, trust employee owned, trust your home to bwindow.com. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on X for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
82 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
And it takes me back to a simpler place in time.
Well, Nige, it's National Moonshine Week.
Well, I think we should celebrate.
Now, look, this isn't the kind of stuff you make in your closet somewhere in the middle of the forest.
My contact in Decatur County.
Right.
Yeah.
This isn't that. This is store-bought, Old Smoky stuff.
It's all right.
Some would even say it might be chick-like.
Whatever. It's pink.
It's
this
Old
moonshine.
Smoky sour watermelon moonshine.
Let's do it.
Cheers. Yeah. Allison, drink one.
Happy Moonshine Week, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
That was good. Yeah.
That is good stuff.
Another.
All right. Lanny Wilson, take us home with some watermelon moonshine. One more hour to go. Hammer and Nigel show coming back next.
You might be a long-time investor. You might be just starting out in your retirement planning. I fall closer to the latter. Matt Bear here. Hey, I've spent some time with Trajan Wealth, the fiduciary advisors, and Jeff did an amazing job explaining everything to me and keeping it simple and in terms I can understand. I felt 100% satisfied that my money would be secure and in the right hands. Call Trajan Wealth at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com to schedule your first appointment. Trajan Wealth, listen to me. Listen to my visions of retirement, then began work on a custom portfolio designed just for me. One size does not fit all. Call Trajan Wealth and learn more about these strategies. Schedule a consultation, meet the team at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.